Hey, everybody. Hey. What's up? From them farms. What's going on? Yeah. All right, let's get out of this. Let's get into. All right, I gotta get this bucket out of here. Oh, what's up, everybody? Oh, I think she wanted a hot bucket. I don't know where she wanted it, though. I think she wanted it out here. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? You wanted this bucket out here?
Yeah.
It's hot, right?
Well, no, I didn't want hot, but I'll take hot.
You said.
I'll just have to get some other water for her to drink.
Oh, you wanted drinking water.
I've got to clean both her bowls out too, though.
Well, that's what you said. That's why I got you.
But I was going to use the rest of the water for her drinking water, but that's okay. I need to come get a rag.
Okay. Hey, welcome. What's going on? Hey, Monica. Hey, Anna, Banana. Welcome in, everybody. What's up? Hey, what? Hey. Hey, Anna. Hey, be neighborly.
Hey, how are you?
Welcome. Good. How are you, miss?
I'm
to see you.
good. I'm so glad to catch you live, man.
Well, I'm glad you got to see me live, and I'm glad you're here. This is I usually do a Wednesday night roundtable, which has been very informational, and a lot of people love it. But I thought I'd switch it up, schedule and see how it works out. I'm going to do a Tuesday night roundtable. Hey, what up, Phil? But so I don't know if you've ever been to my roundtable. So
No.
I'll have a guest panelist of like yourself and other herbalists or other like-minded people, and we just talk amongst each other. Sometimes there's a topic, sometimes there's not. A lot of times we just answer people's questions in the chat, and it could be anything from asking you questions about bees or honey, or it could be about a mullein or about lymphatic system or something like that. And we do our best to
just listen. You guys are like experts, so I probably should just listen and learn.
Yeah. Well, they all loved the last time when you were on. I had a lot of questions. A lot of people were very interested in all the knowledge that you gave us about bees and, doing that. And they love your content as well. So,
oh, that's sweet.
This is the kind of stuff.
You do.
Oh, appreciate it. And a lot of people didn't know about your channel. And this is what I like doing, is introducing more people about other content creators, what they do on this app that has to do with our health and our food and our water or well-being. Hey, knowledge. But
hang on. I probably should put my thing off so I can. I just got off work, so excuse me.
Okay.
I'm having cocktail.
Listen, if you want to chime in, you're more than welcome to. Knowledge, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Hey, everyone should like until the hearts are full, because that's how you spread that live, and then share it with a couple friends so that you guys can get like really high in the algorithm.
What up, EJ?
That's all helpful. Hey, how you doing, Knowledge?
Hi.
Knowledge, be neighborly. She's our friendly beekeeper here. Hey, thank you for the gifts. Appreciate it. Thank you for.
Hello, B. How are you?
Is it Awi? I'm sorry, I don't know who that was, but hi. Oh my God, I'm hungry. What are you eating?
Right.
Nice.
I'm tapping.
Grass fed.
Cool.
Actually, I have a. Let's see if I can get this guest on here. This
Oh,
is
cool.
going to be. You'll like this knowledge. Hey.
To answer your question, Phil, mullein is a fantastic expectorant for like breaking up mucus, clearing out the lungs, helping when it comes to like people who are like sick, have ailments. It has like terpenoid compounds that help for like, fighting infections, breaking up mucus, the like. So hopefully you find that helpful, Phil.
Yes, all kinds of benefits from mullein.
Hey, I got a question about mullein. Like, I saw a mullein recently and I was thinking about like, harvesting it because I've learned a lot from you guys. So like, how do you know when it's too late to harvest? And I understand it's like bi-yearly, it's like a biennial, is that right?
I'm as far as like the herbology side, the herbological side, that would depend on the region, depends on where you live.
Yeah.
That's going to vary. But mullein, I don't think it's really as common to just grow in the United States. Like it's only certain parts probably. So, but to answer Phil's question, it'll help break up mucus all over the body because of the terpenoid compounds, but primarily it's used for the lungs. If I was like trying to break up mucus all throughout the body, I would use like black seed oil, artemisinin, wormwood, which is fantastic for breaking up mucus, fantastic for fighting gastrointestinal inflammation, parasites. Also has very good strong antiviral properties. There's all kinds of good reasons why people should definitely be getting into artemisinins and wormwood. So, oh, cool. Yeah. If it grows near you, then just try to make sure that you're sourcing it properly. Don't grow it don't on the sides of the road. That may be off. You may be kind of going into the danger side because they may be spraying pesticides and herbicides near the road. But if you're getting it, go out in the woods. Just kind of like far away from people, far away from anyone. Where even when say you're going out on a national park or something like that, get away from the trails. Get off the trails even, because they even spray the trails in a lot of places. So you got to go out to the woods, and then if you find some mullein out there, that's really where you would want to harvest it from. Probably not the roadside though. Just please be careful about how you source things, y'all. Yeah, Phil, you got to forage. Exactly. It's a lot of work. I do it every now and then. I just haven't had the time and energy for it, but I actually do herbology content. I just haven't in 2.5 years, 3 years, because my life is, craziness. So I would like to. I miss it.
Cool.
What have you been doing before? Looking for a queen last time, or you're transferring some bees. You had your friend over. You guys were trying to separate. Were you separating a hive, or you're?
Wait, say that again? I'm sorry.
What were you doing last time? I mean, you had some stuff going on with the bees and stuff.
Yeah, no. So I'm gonna pull honey next week, so I'll get a lot of how to do it on the backyard. But I had a lot of baby swarms, so I've been trying to build them up and combine them so that they'll make it through the winter. So I had this time of year we have robbing issues because there's not a lot of nectar out there, and it's kind of been rainy, so it washes away all that nectar on those flowers. So I had a couple of weak hives, combined them, but the stronger hives started robbing them out, which it's like battle of the fittest, So kind of I have a nursery section in the established. So been kind of trying to bring that nursery, make it stronger, and we'll end up combining after we pull the honey next week, anybody who's 2 weeks, so that we have a strong hive going forward. So it's going to be kind of a wild ride for us the next 3 weeks or so, getting that honey, and and they're also really mean this time of year. Anyone who's been stung in August, they actually have a higher chemical component in their venom this time of year. So that's it's a good time to get bee venom harvested, which I do. I don't ever show, but
do you harvest bee pollen and propolis and things of that nature, or like royal jelly?
Yeah, I don't really, I don't do as much pollen as other people do. I mean, kind of every beekeeper specializes, but yeah, I can do that if I want to. But the venom part this time of year is what most people, if they're doing it, are harvesting because it has a higher chemical compound. But there's all kinds of things you can do with it, and right now I just focus on training new beekeepers and trying to get people to understand how to keep their hives healthy, so they can enjoy the personal benefits of honey, for health and food, and also to keep the whole population healthy so that they're not transmitting diseases and other parasites to the other beekeepers. So I don't know. It's kind of where I found my niche.
Well, hey, what's up? How is everybody?
Good. How are you?
Evening, well, and yourself,
Hey,
Man, living the dream.
as always.
I love that little rag on your head there, AJ. AJ. Man, I sound like I've been nipping a little bit of the bottle, but I honestly haven't.
Away, Balls, welcome.
Hello.
Guys, sorry I can't put on my camera yet. This is my new account. I'm having some issues with the old one, so I'm Johan. On my other account, I'm known as Uncle Joe. I also do the natural remedies and all of that stuff. I'm from South Africa, though. Also, currently writing a couple of courses about electroculture and biochar. Yes, all about irrigation and all kinds of organic stuff. I'm on the verge of publishing my first book, God's Meds, Gifts from the Ground, Volume 1. So that should be available on Amazon Kindle soon.
Congratulations.
yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So I'm also just here to learn, especially from knowledge. Yeah, I can hear he's got how do they say it, a plethora of information. So I've also got a couple of
On too, don't you?
sorry.
You got some electroculture going on too, don't you?
Yes, I'm actually busy writing. I'm almost done designing a course for electroculture. So I'll just give you some few pointers on where we start, because I've started going back, total overview of electroculture and then origins and evolution, the basic principles of electroculture, mechanisms of action, applications of benefits. It's basically a 3-day course from understanding the basic electric fields and how to work out the correct ohms and voltage and current you need to get the right foliage and root growth, stimulating the microbiology and activating additional microbiome. And yeah, but obviously overdoing it, you'll damage it more. So to get a little bit of basic understanding and knowledge on where to start and how to go about it, I think that to increase the yields, at least by obviously implementing it, you don't even have to know too much about it. To have a minimum of, I would say, a 10% yield at least increase. So, and not only the yield increase, the quality and the quantity of your fruits and veggies that you get is just phenomenal. It's just something different. It's yeah. So we'll see how that goes, and then yeah, like I say, I've got the biochar course that I'm also busy working on, irrigation training, water filtration, and organic traditional gardening, soil regeneration, pruning to promote growth. And I'm actually, EJ, I actually want to send this to you to have a look at, because I'm almost done with a Mastering Moringa from Seed to Harvest course as well. So I would actually love to share it with you before I finalize everything, and then you can go through it and you can tell me, because all the courses that I've done, like a biochar, I've done. I've got quite a bit of personal experience on electroculture. Before I've done the course and done more in-depth research, I've actually done a bit of it on my own on the Eastern Cape.
Right. Yes.
So yeah, we're getting there. We'll see.
I'm excited for you. That's awesome. I think that's something that we'd all like. I was talking to you about maybe doing a course or a class, kind of like Patreon or even on Bump or social media with kind of a PMA, a private membership association. Maybe you pay $1 a year or whatever you want to charge for a class, and you can teach us, and these classes will go. And the reason for the money, it's not he's going to get rich or anything. It's so it invites the right kind of people that will want to learn this knowledge, because we do put a lot of, even Be Neighborly, Time to Heal, and Knowledge. We all put information out, but it's not for everybody. So we're the people that really want to, come there and get this information. This might be something that we'll do or set up even on Discord or something like that. That we can actually.
Yeah, you see, I've already with our last discussion, EJ, I've already downloaded the Bump Social. I'm actually still looking into what you said, school social as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm actually I'm actually a bit dumb with things like that, setting that stuff up and all of that. But I've got a bit of help this side. So yes, and with the assistance that I know, EJ, that I'll have from you, getting things going and telling me how to and where to and how to not. I'm sure we'll get this thing going proper.
Yes, definitely.
Because there are many books out with natural remedies, hundreds and hundreds. And there's many books out of ailments and what ailments you need what for. But I think personally what makes my book different is, well, it's a volume 1 of a series. I'm planning 10 volumes in the first series. Volume 1 starts with 3 different flowers, the different varieties you can get of them. But not only starts with the flowers, it tells you exactly from seed to harvest how to grow, how to look for nutrient deficiencies, how to look for pests and diseases, and how to treat them. Then it goes over to the flower, where it explains to you exactly what the flower does and all the remedies with step-by-step instruction on how to make each and every remedy. And then the 3rd chapter will be on that same plant, but it'll tell you exactly all the ailments that the remedies that was mentioned in the previous chapter can be used for and how to use them. And then I move over to the next chapter, which then starts with a new plant. And then introducing it from seed to harvest, growing with nutrient deficiencies, looking for each specific deficiencies per plant and the diseases that attacks plants, that's specific. And then the remedies once again, and at the end of that, the 3rd chapter of, or should I say the 6th chapter of the second one, then again tells you what ailments you can use it for and how to use it.
It sounds like a very good structure that you're doing that. You've taken basically the standard outline, but putting it into each plant and combining those chapters, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. That way it's not very confusing. A lot of
Yes,
books
ma'am.
do not provide that. So you're flipping back and forth to where I like how you're doing that individual outline with each plant. That's really good.
That's the idea, man. You see, like I said, there are so many books out there. With the information that I'm putting in one book, there are hundreds of books. You're not going to find what I've searched yet, and everybody can help me with this and correct me with this. You're not going to find another book that gives you how to grow it and determine pests and disease, nutrient deficiencies, how to make the remedies, what to use it for, and how to use them in one book. I haven't found that yet.
That's very interesting. You said you're going to have 10 different books. Can you just throw out some ideas of what plants would be included in we're going to be discussing? I mean, you don't need to go through all 10, but just kind of throw out some plant varieties you're looking at.
Okay, no problem, ma'am. I've actually got Bitterdock. The baobab tree will be in the third series. So I'll go to the common south thistle, horseweed, Indian hawthorn. But if I can go to God's Meds first series, Gift from the Ground, Volume 1, I'll give you an approximate what I've got in here. Okay, so I've got Dandelion and Princess Feather, which is the Amaranthus. There's quite a bit of varieties of those. And between the bunch, you can make the tinctures and you can make the teas and the... let me just open up this. Sorry, give me a second.
Hey
No,
guys, I have to run. I just want to say thanks for joining, and I'm gonna listen, but I got my other job. Okay, I'm so sorry. I didn't want to interrupt.
No
Thank you,
problem.
ma'am.
Thanks for coming by.
Bye.
Everyone, make sure you're following Be
I don't
Neighborly.
know, but I'm gonna get off somehow.
I'll get you. Sure. See if I can
not
do it.
only on an herbalist level, but this book would be very beneficial to a prepper, someone who is actually preparing for, let's say the grid goes down or whatever it may be. This would be a really great gathering of books to have on your shelves because you just never know.
Yes, exactly where we're going with it. Exactly what was my thought, ma'am. That would be actually what I was thinking at the end of the day, putting myself and my family in that position. What would be the most beneficial information to have on hand? That not everybody will be able to just know everything.
Now, are you also going to not only go into, the remedies, or are you going to discuss how they could make a tincture and, let's say an oxymel or, drying the plants? I mean, are you going to that level of in-depth knowledge transfer, or are you just doing the basic remedies and how to do a basic medicine?
Ma'am, at this point in time, yes, I'm just doing basics. I'm going to give like energy drinks and energy bars that you can do
Nice.
with the amaranthus. And then also I give you salads with the dandelions and with the cosmos leaf extractions. And then also cosmos stir fry. And
I like how you're implementing them at actually nourishing food. I like
yes,
that. That's great.
that's the idea, yes, ma'am. So it can not only be used as a medicine, but as a daily supplement.
Well, it sounds like an abundance of work. Good luck to you.
Ma'am, I was actually I was actually supposed to upload the final manuscript this weekend, but yeah, I'm not quite happy with it as yet. But I'm almost there. I should be ready by tomorrow, maybe Thursday.
Yes, I
to upload
followed
the
you.
final manuscript.
I followed you, so I hope that you announce when your first volume is actually to ebook status. I will be one of your first customers, and thank you for sharing.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I really appreciate the support, and yes, I will definitely do. I will be in permanent contact with EJ, and I am sure you will help me also to post and notify
God,
when the publication will go up.
Oh yes, I'll definitely share and encourage more people to share.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I really appreciate it.
Great. Hey, Matt. Welcome, Matt. Matt's here in Florida, I believe. How you doing, brother?
Yes. How's it going, man?
How's it,
Doing
man?
good.
Good. Welcome to our roundtable, Matt. So I do a roundtable usually on Wednesdays. I switch it up to Tuesday night, and it's just a group of us like-minded herbalists just sharing knowledge and helping others on this platform. It's actually grown. A lot of people come here, and I've you've probably seen some of the videos, but that's what we do here. We kind of talk about anything, gardening. We had a beekeeper that was just on here, so we
Nice.
foraging, just basically. Sometimes we talk about a topic or on something, or basically we answer people's questions, or we share stuff to help other people that are like-minded and want to either improve their health or other people information. We're not here to give doctor advice or anything like that. We're just sharing our knowledge, and if they find it interesting, they'll jot it down or whatever they need to do. But that's what we do on here, Matt.
Cool, man. Yeah, I'm just in I think I told you I'm doing, I don't know how to flip the camera, but here's my mushrooms.
Nice. You got his shrooms going yet?
Yeah, man.
So what do you got? I love mushrooms. What you got
This
going on there?
I got
I'm
some
jealous.
chestnut, got some lion's mane, got some pink oyster, just inoculated some king oysters. So yeah, getting it set up and getting ready to make a bunch of mushrooms. Got a laminar flow hood, so yeah, I'm
Wonderful.
doing it.
So you have lion's mane. How about cordyceps? Do you go ahead and sell the?
I haven't looked at those yet because then I got to see how to grow those, because then I think the cordyceps in nature, they actually grow on insects. So it's a meat eating mushroom. So I do want to look into that once I figure out how to get these wood loving mushrooms going. Look at some of the cordyceps, and then turkey tail is also pretty good from what I understand as well. So
Yeah. I do the foraging of the turkey tail, but I do grow cordyceps and I grow the lion's mane.
you do grow cordyceps. Do you do one on wood or?
It's on the. I buy the kits.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm not from scratch. I would love to figure it out. There are some videos on YouTube on how to do it. It's just the fact of procrastination on my part.
Yeah,
to be honest.
it's super easy. I mean, it's super cheap. So like here's I got 50 pounds of grain. I don't know if you can see. I don't know. I flip my camera. 50 pounds of grain makes a ton of mushroom bags. So each one of these bags right here that's a 5-pound bag of the grains. And out of that 50-pound grain bag, I'll probably get, I don't know how many, a bunch. And then for each 5-pound grain bag, I'll make probably about 20 fruiting bags. So like those bags you buy, I'll make about 20 of those out of my 1 5-pound grain bag.
Nice.
Yeah. And then like I've got, so right here, I don't know if you can see these. So these are jars of liquid culture. So I've got my mycelium. This is 600 milliliters. And each one of those 5-pound grain bags, I inject with only 5 milliliters. So out of the 600 milliliters, I've got. So yeah, it's definitely, with mushrooms, you can get way too big, way too fast, super easily. So.
Like I said, I've done the research and, priced it out. It's definitely a good thing to do. It's just myself, I just don't really have the time to procrastinate. In the setup, you mentioned something over there to the right of you, I
Yeah,
believe.
so you
Yeah,
can
I
do
don't
it.
have
You can do
anything
it
like
low
that.
tech. You can definitely do low tech. There's a bunch of stuff on there about you can get boxes, still air boxes. Um, this is a 2 foot by 2 foot, and it's a 1 foot thick HEPA filter. So it blows out. I mean, just 99.99.7% of the particles are taken out, and it's called a laminar, so your air goes straight rather than turbulent. So it keeps all the particles and other contaminants from outside of my workspace from ever coming in. That's definitely an upgraded lab, but you can do it lower tech.
See, that's
So
why I let the guys who know what they're doing, like you,
yeah,
do it. I just buy
yeah,
the
yeah,
stuff from you.
yeah, and that's it's kind of my goal is to start duplicating this and getting it to a point where I can sell like some of the completed bags, or maybe sell some of the sterilized spawn bags to people who want to grow it but just don't want to invest the money into some of the higher level equipment.
That's great. That is great.
Yeah.
Well, do you have a website that you're selling on it? Right in your bio or something?
Not yet, not yet. This is so I've been looking at this probably for about a year and a half. Just got sidetracked and finally pulled the trigger. So now I'm just in all those bags you saw. That's my first production bags. So once I get it down, then I'll start selling and figuring that aspect out.
Well, I followed you, so I can follow along on your progress.
Yeah, and what's
interested.
really cool is I think I've made 300 and almost $400 off one video. So that really helped pay for all this mushroom stuff, which
Nice.
I was totally not expecting, but that was a nice little thank you, and it was from a mushroom video. So
I actually, like I said, I buy the kits and I grow them,
yeah,
but then I turn them into tinctures. I have an actual
yep,
tincture that I have 7 different
uh,
mushrooms in,
yeah.
and I love mushrooms.
I wish I knew how to turn my camera on. But here's so I do a lot of hobbies. This is my hydroponic stuff up here. I've got a hydroponic tower outside that grows vegetables. So it's a big tower. It's got a bin at the bottom that I throw the nutrients in, and then it runs down this 3-inch tube and feeds all my plants. I've got a bunch of mullein here. Down here, I've got a bunch of tinctures. I've got some root tinctures. I got some moringa. This is root moringa, papaya, passion vine, more moringa, shampoo, ginger, my dehydrating stuff, and then my seed stuff. So, yeah, I've got
You got it going on. Yeah, I really enjoy mushrooms. I have my shop, which is Time to Heal, link in the bio. A lot of different single tinctures. They're just dried herbs. I grow a lot of the herbs on site. What I can't grow, I try to forage, and then what I can't forage, I do utilize small mom and pop locations that they have said are organic and have shown pictures and done Zoom meetings with me, etc.
cool.
On Etsy. But yeah, I have all sorts of different tinctures out there, from gallstones to heart health, mushroom therapy, all the things. So it is a passion. I actually have my certificate of herbalism. I went to Ohio State. Well, that's from Cornell. I went to Ohio State for my bachelor's in horticulture, and agriculture was my major. So I definitely love plants. They're an obsession.
Cool. Nice. Yeah, I definitely want to get more into that. We bought 5 acres, and it was finally my time to start playing with the garden and doing more of the herbalism stuff. So yeah, it's cool. I like it. I've made some tinctures, and yeah, I don't know what you make yours with, but I was told 80 proof, and then the roots I made out of Everclear. So I got moringa root. I haven't even touched that. It's been soaking in Everclear for months. I don't know how you take Everclear. I mean, If you
I
take
will
that,
say
you're probably just going to be happy anyways.
I will suggest that you 80 proof. I'm not going to knock it. There are some herbs that are more beneficial to have a lower alcohol, proof.
Yeah.
But as you said, Everclear higher proof when you get into resins and some roots. But you really need to look into the phytochemistry of the plant. That's what's going to determine, because if you get too high of an alcohol percentage, it can actually burn some of those very delicate phytochemicals within the plant.
Right.
Whereas
Right.
if you don't have a strong enough alcohol, it can actually not pull out the volume of phytochemicals that you want drawn out. There are some really good books out there. Laura Garone, I believe, Phytochemistry and Science. She's really wonderful. I would say that's more for not a beginner, because it does get into the science of it. And if you're not a science person and you're just more interested in the folk method of tinctures, and if that's all you want to do is just to be able to give your family medicine, myself, I personally go with 100 proof vodka, because you're getting 50% water
Right.
without the water soluble constituents, and you're getting 50% alcohol to pull out the non-water soluble constituents. So that's a good thing. That's a good base right there, because you're getting a stronger both ways versus the 80 proof.
Nice.
Great information. Yeah, thanks, Time to Hill. I would just want to thank everybody for jumping in. I know this was kind of a last moment thing. I wanted to see how it would work out on a Tuesday, because I might switch over. I usually do this on a Wednesday. Thank you all for all tapping in the gifts and just sharing the live. I appreciate you guys doing this, and I thank the panel here, of you guys coming in and sharing your stories, sharing your knowledge, sharing your stuff. Matt will still talk. Matt's actually he grows a lot of trees, and he's got moringa as well. But if you guys aren't following, make sure you go follow him. Check out his stuff. A lot of great content. Love to see him more on our roundtable here. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, making this actually work. A lot of people are benefiting from us talking and watching this. So keep sharing it, keep getting it out there, and keep coming here. And when you guys, because I know you all do your own lives and you do your own content, but when you guys come here and they see this, that we're all kind of same mind frame and all come together, it's a weird concept. Not to us, but people are enjoying it. They're like, oh my gosh, I didn't think, that there were more of you out there. Everyone's like, hey, I want to start this journey on myself. And we see a lot of people that are actually come to our stuff, like Casey and a couple of other people that are starting to get their own voice, and they're starting to see, hey, you know what? I think this is the most important thing, is helping people's health and their food and water, and just promoting this instead of all the other stuff going on. So I appreciate you all. Thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. That's what I got.
Cool, man. Thanks for the invite, dude.
Hey, welcome. You're welcome anytime.
Yeah,
And this
man.
is what we usually have. People come in late. There are people come in whatever, but we always have a pretty good turnout of like-minded people. I know Knowledge has been quiet. He's been he was talking earlier, but everyone that comes here, like we said, we all had our journey that we started, and we're just basically here to help people and spread good stuff. Like, his Uncle Joe, but he's the guy below me, but that's what I know him as. But great information, and everyone that I've met on here, and I've shared their stuff because other people need to know the information that we're putting out. Just like Matt, you with your mushrooms and your other knowledge. He has a lot of knowledge, so he'll probably get into that. But like I said, check out his content. Knowledge, of course, we all know he's always in here giving us great stuff. Time to Heal. I love you, sister. Always great stuff. And, you know, I can't thank you all enough. I appreciate it.
I'm obsessed with what works.
Yeah.
That's all that matters to me. I really don't care. There's no gospel. There's no
Right.
like certain, oh, we only got to do it this way. We only got to do it that. Man, there's so many different ways. I can't tell you how many different medical publications I come across on different herbs, different nutritional substances, different therapies that all help several different ailments. And we have several different ailments that are treated by several different therapies. So it's like, I was talking about this earlier, how, you know, artemisinin helps with people who deal with like gastrointestinal inflammation, everything like, you know, wormwood, artemisinin, Artemisia nua, Artemisia absinthium, things like that. Definitely, you know, good ones to include in any, you know, herbology book or what have you. They grow for the most part, like all around the world, like different forms of artemisinins. There may be a better one like for your area than to try to grow, say, like Artemisia nua or sweet wormwood, first off. But getting, you know, more into like what works and everything, because like those work for gastrointestinal inflammation, but same for like grapefruit seed extract. We also have, you know, it's like probiotic bacteriums actually help a lot when it comes to people who deal with, you know, gastrointestinal inflammation, and also nutrient malabsorption, C. diff, so many different things. And C. diff is usually, you know, antibiotic induced, but, you know, let's a lot of ailments are pharma induced. Have we noticed that?
Yes, and
Oh,
I love
totally,
the fact
dude.
that you just touched upon wormwood, because right now I'm doing a deep dive on parasites.
For a lot of people who don't know, wormwood is kind of how I got my start on this app, like how people came to get to know me so quickly. During COVID, there was a lot of people looking for, you know, different things and trying to get, you know, ivermectin. I was running a natural health store at the time, and there were people trying to get me to bring ivermectin into my store. And I was like, I mean, it's a pharmaceutical. I'm not going to do that. And they're like, well, it's helping people. You're about what works. And I'm like, yeah, but if I know of something better, then why would I do that? Why would I bring in a pharmaceutical if I know of something that works better than a pharmaceutical? And so obviously I was asked, well, what would you use? And I said, I would use wormwood. And then, you know, as it goes to turn out, there was a lot of medical publications and good information proving that artemisinins were effective against COVID and several other things, including Crohn's, colitis, cancer. I mean, several different ailments, issues, diseases that are, you know, apparently incurable. Malaria. They're actually wiping out malaria in Africa right now. How? Why? Artemisia and artesunate. Artesunates are, you know, essentially synthetic drugs that are developed based on artemisinin compounds. So, and what makes these effective are found in other plants like dandelion. We were talking about mullein earlier, other things, these terpenoid compounds, sesquiterpene lactones, as, you know, they're called in the medical publications most commonly, that they're very effective for having, you know, good antibacterial properties, antiviral properties. They work against several different things, even like, bacterium that are antibiotic resistant, because antibiotics do not actually pierce that mucosal layer, that, you know, that layer that they form around themselves to protect themselves. So, you know, it's referred to as biofilm. But sesquiterpene lactones and terpenoid compounds actually operate based on the mechanism of biofilm degradation. So you're going to see, you know, the outside of these infections degrade, and so the terpenoid compounds are actually able to reach the infection itself and kill the infection. And this is also, you know, that biofilm, by the way, that's also a good beginning for fungal infections in the body. So it's a lot of the reason why so many people are dealing with, you know, high candida in the body, high fungal, you know, issues and infections, things like that. Always things to keep in mind. And yeah, artemisins are usually very effective for this. Black seed oil, dandelion, quercetin's really good, you know, especially, you know, for inducing like the senolytic activation thing that, you know, sometimes we'll talk about. And so, yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I been doing a deep dive on parasites and parasites with in relation to autoimmune diseases, cancer. And if you look at what wormwood can do and how effective it is to the 3.3 billion people that get parasitic infections every year, it's very interesting. People don't realize. I just posted a video the other day. Right now it's at 1.8 million views. And I had so much pushback on parasites. Oh, this is, you're telling lies. You're telling lies. You're telling lies. And I would tell people, if you're trying to follow the science and you think that I'm just making things up, go to the Mayo Clinic, go to the Cleveland Clinic. They will clearly tell you, they have a specific webpage dedicated to parasite symptoms and how you get them. The bottom, people just think, well, you know, I'm not playing in feces, therefore I'm not going to catch any type of worms, or I'm going to get parasites. The bottom of our feet have the largest pores on our body. And you're walking on the beach, you don't think the birds are dumping everywhere. You don't think dogs and cats and ducks and geese and all the things are out there, and there's all sorts of parasites. And people do not realize that these parasites rob the nutrients from our body.
It's in your food.
Yes. I mean,
Parasites are in your
the
food.
water, you know, so many different pets.
Water.
Your dogs, your cats are going outside, you're bringing them in, they're trying to lick your mouth, and you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
And
so can I hold you up just right quick? Because this is something this is a subject I've been on for years and years. I used to develop like more content on this. Yeah, people do get worked up when you develop content on this. And actually, I'd like to explain to you something. There are creators on this app that think that they like hold the freaking patent on parasite content. So that's probably who like, you know, is giving you pushback. But also to some people in the medical community try to write it off. Anyway, I don't know how, because the medical publications make it very clear about parasitic organisms and their existence in the United States. Do y'all actually think that parasitic organisms, like every other country around the world, everyone deworms at least once to twice a year, but in the United States, no. Parasites respect our borders, don't they? They probably do. I'm sure, like in the United
Totally
States.
do. I think you're right,
that's
man.
it. They just, nope, we can't go to the U.S. They don't like us there.
You know what? It's because of the Rockefellers. It's all because of them that we don't have parasites in the United States. Thank God for the Rockefellers. Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't worry,
exactly.
we'll keep all this. We'll keep all the. Well, at least I can say we'll try and keep all the parasites down here in Africa.
Yeah. See, yeah, y'all got them all. We're blessed in the United States. The Rockefellers, our deities, blessed us with the opportunity to not have parasites come into our borders. So, and once again, thank you, Joe Biden, for that one as well, and everyone else, all the other presidents and political figures. Y'all are all amazing for this.
Yeah, no, they've got the borders covered, but
No, they stop all the parasites. But anyway, so the whole idea, is that obviously parasites exist within American borders. I used to do this like jokingly. We used to like have this big thing, and I mean, I could take y'all through it, but essentially, if you have a heartbeat, you have parasites inside of you. I hate to have to break it to you. We all got to deworm at least once to twice a year. It's essential. That's actually part of the reason why I do like parasite kits in my storefront. And I have since 2021. Yeah, 2021. I've sold parasite kits. So, definitely something that we want to keep in mind. This is actually also what I'm talking about when it comes to like the terpenoid compounds. Watch my, my most recently dropped video. I was talking about artemisinin, but I referenced thujone because thujone is like the primary terpenoid compound that makes Artemisia, what it is. And thujone is also the most powerful anti-parasitic terpene that we know of. So, and there's definitely other things, there's good anti-parasitic blends that target like larvae and eggs and things like that. So,
and that's kind of where I'm going right now on all on my research right now. But
yeah,
I definitely will watch your video. But I can't.
It's a short one, but
it
either
boggled
way,
my mind, the pushback from people. Yeah, I'm just like, really? You just think that you've got the holy grail inside your body and nothing's going to touch me? I washed it off with vinegar and, baking soda, so it's good.
Yeah. So the whole idea that like parasites don't like exist here, actually, obviously, like it's a lie from big pharma, so that a lot of the diseases and issues that people deal with, which are caused by parasites and parasitic organisms, are overlooked. and or they are treated as something else. And you can end up on some type of treatment that you don't need, end up developing other ailments that leads to treatments that you don't need. And when the root cause was you had an overgrowth of parasitic organisms, you had high
Yes.
candida, high sugar in your diet, bad diet overall, exposure to toxins, and you do nothing to cleanse yourself.
Exactly. Well, and that's just, you just need to scrub your arm and put some, lotion on it, or, that's eczema. But what's the root cause here, sweetheart? What's the root cause? That is big pharma talking right there. We're just going to give you a prescription lotion to put on there. You're going to be fine. It won't show up, but you still haven't addressed the root problem. And that's what I love about herbalism. That is what I love. Let's find out how we fix it so that we don't have to be on pharmaceuticals. I don't believe you need to be on herbals all the time either. It's to help the problem. I don't want to trade off big pharma's drugs and go to pharmaceutical tinctures every day. That's not
Well,
my
okay,
goal.
can I give you something on this? Because like first off, there's no reason to feel guilty about switching from leftover chemical toxic waste that is recombined molecular, structure wise to fit patented compounds that are overall going to turn back into toxins in your body, as opposed to a plant or a tincture or an herb, mushrooms, things like that, like what you were talking about earlier. Like those types of things, are natural to the earth. They actually become something nutritious in our body.
Right.
What is the main
I'm
reason
saying-
why? But what is the main reason why people are getting sick in the first place?
Well, exactly. I'm not saying, and I'm sorry if I said it wrong.
It's okay. No,
I
I'm
don't
saying
want to say, I wasn't saying that it was wrong to go from pharmaceuticals to herbs. No, I think that. But I don't want to be taking a tincture for the rest of my life every day. That's not, I want to fix the root problem, being parasitic infections or whatever, the diet, what you're eating better foods.
so. A couple things. Like first thing I would say to that too. Like first off is if you have a heartbeat, you're going to have some parasites. It's going to happen. Leaving the parasitic overload at kind of like a lower state. That's really how you maintain less negative action of infections, less negative propensity toward infections, things like that. And the other thing also too, the main reason why a lot of people are getting sick is because we don't have the nutrients in our diet that we should have, that our ancestors had, that would actually activate a lot of these immune system functioning processes, which would keep parasitic organisms down in our body, which would maintain better, overall tissue reconditioning and propensity of recognition of infections and things of that nature. Like our body would work better. So a lot of time, if a plant or an herbal tincture or, a powder or whatever, if that's how you get the nutrients, you get them how you get them, girl. You get them how you get them, and don't feel bad about it.
Oh no, I agree with
know-
that. I'm not saying, oh, believe me. No, don't. I
Yeah.
believe no. I get that. I agree with that. I'm just saying, what do I want to say? I don't feel that herbalism is to be bound by taking a medicine every day, if that makes sense. I feel it's implementing the herbs into your daily life, however you want to take them.
I think what she's saying, she doesn't want to be dependent on them all the time.
I wish it wasn't like this, y'all. Like, honestly, I wish it wasn't like this. And I wish we weren't like, first of all, I wish we could choose whether or not we were actually exposed to toxins. But we don't really have that choice now, do we?
I will.
Like, and that's part of what makes, it's like, for instance, okay, why would it be important to make sure you're getting something like dandelion in your diet, every day? Even if you're getting cysteine compounds, say from like meat or what have you, okay? However you got to get it, all right? Well, we got shit being sprayed into our atmosphere. We're all aware of it. They put junk in our water. There's junk in the food. You can't help that there's Wi-Fi and EMF and all this all around. You can't do anything about that. So what's happening to your body? Oxidative stress. And, your body is being treated, in a lot of ways like it's being exposed to a toxin. What happens? Detox pathways open up. You lose minerals. You lose B vitamins. This is all relevant to our health. And so we can't, if I could change things, really though, like if I ruled the world, I would actually I would change all this, because it should be illegal for all of us to be, hitting each other with radiation, and we didn't even choose to. Like there's some we either
Chemtrails.
we either need
Chemtrails up in the air so that we can breathe in all that toxic.
well that's what I meant by them spraying in the atmosphere. Yeah, like, and obviously there's like what was it? It's like aluminum type compounds and stuff like that they found in that. It's like basically like brain neutralizing compounds that they found in what they're spraying. Anyway. So
Yes, among other heavy metals also.
yeah, I mean, we're talking like damage to neurological tissue, but that's already happening from the fluoride because the fluoride in your water is leftover byproduct from the metal fabrication industry in China. It's leftover aluminum. So it's like, they've been doing this where, our own government's been doing it to us. It's really time for the people to inform themselves better and stand. But, most specifically for this, I really don't give a fuck about politics. But if we could really stand for like making sure that herbs and supplements and all that stuff, they should not be able to make plants illegal, y'all. It started with the war on drugs and it turned into what this is. This is bullshit. And for those of y'all who don't know about them, like trying to regulate euphrasia, what the fuck?
They're trying to start regulating all herbal medicine. If they could have their way, they would regulate it all, take it all away so that we can't use it unless we are naturopaths or PhD doctors, which is just another way for a corrupt education system and our corrupt pharmaceutical system to make money.
Oh, those institutions are a fucking joke, and so are the mainstream ones. They all are. I would stand toe to toe with any of them dumbasses on my worst day. And part of the reason why I didn't go to an institution like that actually has a lot to do with the fact that I wouldn't be able to speak freely without losing my certification. There would be no point in me even going.
No, I agree. Well, we're the only, and it's funny, we talk about certifications, and I see a ton of people always saying, oh, I'm a certified herbalist. And I struggle with that because we are actually the only country that gives somebody a certificate to go to a bunch of classes that you could learn for free. And we're the only country that doesn't recognize herbal medicine. Now, if it's a degree, most European countries have some kind of naturopath herbalism degrees. That's different than it is here in the US, but I really struggle. I met a lady at a craft fair or whatever in Florida when we were down on vacation. She's like, I went to this school and I'm a certified herbalist. And I was like, well, that's great. You just wasted, in my opinion, a bunch of money. Because I feel like you can learn it all from books and from the internet now that we have internet and, other places.
Well, Locke, you probably know this as well as I do. The best information is in those old books that nobody cares about anymore.
Yep. I love them.
Yeah.
I saw one the other day at the Nature and Science Museum. They had an exhibit on poison. And there was a book, and I can't remember this guy's name. I'd have to look it up. I'll have to message you about it later. But there was this old, I was like, I want that book. How do I get that book out of the Nature and Science Museum for my collection? Because
it's funny that you say that because for a little while, I did a short series like a while back on ancient poison remedies. And it was a big hit. Like I actually had it, especially women really seemed to like it. Because I did kind of like a date rape prevention type portion that you can do with, yes, you can use the same things that you would use to prevent yourself from being poisoned, also from being date raped. And so it's kind of like it's a lot of the similar stuff that you would use for improving liver activity, contributing antioxidant compounds, running that stuff out of the body too quickly for it to build up in your body and actually cause a toxicological effect. So yeah, that's the whole idea of it. And people liked it. I may have to get back into that again.
yeah, I'd love to get my hands on some older books, but I saw this one, like I said, at the museum, and I was like, how do I sneak this out of here without going to jail today? Because it was huge. It was like this thick. The pages were all like brown and crusty. The writing was barely there. I was like, I want this in my collection. And it's not even a book that's published anymore. It was probably from the early 1700s. I was like, I want that book. I want this author.
Yeah, well said. Very well said.
Well said, yep. Hey, welcome in, Crystal. Welcome in, Debbie, 77. Appreciate
Thank
you.
Thanks for the invite.
I would like to say, speaking of certifications, in Ohio, I guess I should just say Ohio because that's where I live. But There is not a master herbalist title. There's not a certified herbalist. You know, you can get a certificate for herbalism. That's what it is. That you're not this master herbalist. And when I see people say that, I'm like, where'd you get that from? Just where?
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways, if you are a master at anything, you probably don't really have to say it.
I'm a master debater.
That's fine. That's fine.
Sorry, man. I had to take that.
Personality. I like it. We need that here sometimes. It gets too serious.
That was sharp, Matt. That was. That was quick.
I love how that perfect timing on that. Perfect timing.
We all got to get it out somehow.
Exactly. I agree.
Exactly.
Pause.
Well, welcome in, everybody.
Long pause.
Lock and Key. How are you doing? You like the do-rag there?
I love it. I started to ask you on your live. I'm like, what have you got on your head?
Yeah. I just been on.
Because you missed me. I joined in, and there you look just like me.
Hey, I had to impersonate you, so because everyone was.
Yeah, he couldn't help himself. He had to.
I love it. I love it.
You about to either like hit up the store, you know, for like some money and some 40s of OE, or you might be like going to do laundry right quick or something, like you folding.
I will not do that when I do gardening.
I think EJ needs to go in and make me a sandwich. Get your ass in the kitchen and make me a sandwich, EJ.
I just got finished making dinner. This shit, my hair is unruly. It's unruly, so
that's okay. My hair's always unruly.
Yeah, yours looks good. Mine is bad.
I love my do-rags.
Who cares? I do too. They're so comfortable, and it just works for. I don't even know. I love the pressure on my head. Something about it.
Crystal, how you feeling?
Listen, I'm broke out right now. Do y'all want to see? I'm never on when I'm broke out. I'll show you guys.
Bless your heart.
I am going through it. I've fallen a couple of times. I've been told that it is definitely the SOT is doing what it's supposed to. I'm really sore. I've been told that I will be really sore, and it's like the worst Herx reaction kind of stuff that you can deal with when your immune system starts to wake up. I've been told to expect like MCAS overload, or, you know, just because my body was so difficult that first week of treatment, period. And the SOTs, what it does when it goes in there to eradicate it, it pulls them out of these places. They've been just kind of hanging out and doing their thing and making all this extra, you know, storm around them. And so that as they start to leave, my immune system starts to come back to life and say, oh, this is what this is like. Oh, this is what this is like. Oh, what's going on? And therefore I go into like different flares of different things. There's possibility that CMV could be pulled right back up, my EBV. I'm just prepped. I've got all the stuff to stay prepped for it, but these hives and the muscle, it's not even a twitching, it's a dance. My muscles just do this like they're pulling off the bone feeling. And I've been trying to I don't want to overload things. I learned that from knowledge. The more stuff you put in there, it doesn't always mean the better. So I've slacked off on everything. I'm going as slow as I can because we all know that, you know, ideally, I wouldn't put myself through the pain. I can tell you that. But the way I see it, if I've got to go through this and share my journey with others so they don't have to, then that's what I got to do. So
I pray for you every day. I hope you know that.
Thank you so much. I promise that I can feel them because I don't think I'd make it this far. So I'm going to try.
Oh.
So this is my legs, and it's on both legs right now. I've taken, I had some of Rogers Hood cinnamon, so I took it, and I've been doing castor oil today and staying on top of that and just kind of resting and hydrating like nobody's business.
Wait. Kim got to you already?
Kim, oh yeah. I couldn't start a kit. Like, that's my thing. I couldn't start a kit because my body, like, that first week in Acuna was not supposed to be rough. They were like, no, you'll be okay. That first day of treatment, I was so sick, and I kept telling my naturopath, I'm like, there's more to my story than Lyme disease, man.
Hey, cinnamon cassia isn't really like a very good, strong, effective binder. Go for something more like milk thistle, something like that to run.
Okay. I didn't see,
Yeah.
and I didn't even think like that. I ordered today some stuff, not even thinking. I had to get my bees.
You know, there's a
And so I was
certain
like,
there's certain people on this app that I've had to go behind them and clean up a lot of their messes.
oh, yeah, knowledge.
And I-
Don't tell me
God, I hope it
I
wasn't
just-
me.
I just want to leave it at that.
See, my body, I'm cautious. Like on mine, when I'm talking, even on my lives, I'm like, you guys don't be like me. I was an idiot and jumped into some of this stuff like feet first, thinking, oh, yeah, gun ho. No, not everybody's ready for that. You ain't ready for it. I promise you, you're not ready for it. Even if you're doing you're not. You're not. Especially if you, now looking back, I'm like, my Lyme was so bad that I was bedbound. So I'm like, I was in no shape, way, or form ready to jump into anything at all.
So,
And not being able to sweat.
So, and that's one of the big things is the lack of, detox pathways being open, your detox pathways being clogged. And so obviously this is, part of the reason why I'll kind of get people toward like more of like a liver cleanse type kit or something like that before we get into like parasites. Because
Right.
yeah, you're going to want to boost like your antioxidant content, run a lot of that junk out of your body, burn a lot of the, so a lot of the toxins in our body actually reside in fat cells. And ironically enough, most specifically fat cells in your liver. So what your liver is your detoxification organ system of your body, but you have toxins residing in fat in your liver. So if you don't do anything to break up that fat, it just stays there and it just clogs up your liver. So, this is part of the reason why doing a liver cleanse at least once a year is actually good for most people as well. But it's like if you're chronically ill and, you're coming out of a chronically ill state, do not just jump into these parasite kits. A lot of these people on this app don't know what they're doing. They don't do their research. They kind of jump into what's most profitable very quickly. I know that there were very effective, parasite blends that certain people used to use in their content when I watched them originally because we came onto the app around the same time, and that they did very well with that blend. That blend just didn't pay them enough money for them to continue with that blend. So they decided to make their own blend and their own way of sourcing it. And no one really knows how all that exactly goes. But, okay, the whole point is that there's no patent on any of this.
Right.
Okay? And there are definitely some really good blends that you can get. You can go, okay, I just want everyone in this room to know, you can go to your local natural health store and get a good parasite kit, all the same stuff for around $65 at most.
Hey, Nudge, will your, if you have them, will your liver panel still come back okay on the readings? If you have the parasites or anything?
Parasites aren't generally like, as far as like testing for parasites, they got to test for certain organisms specifically. So you got to do like a PCR test to test for parasites, and it's got to be like for that specific organism. They can't do just a general test to test for all parasites. And if they did, look, we all got parasites, y'all.
Right.
We all got parasites. You're gonna have some in your body regardless. And honestly, some parasites, it's good that you have some of them, like Candida. Candida actually does feed on aluminum. There's a lot of people that don't know that. There's benefits to Candida in the body, but if you have too much, it contributes to fungal infection. It contributes to overcandidiasis and the overgrowth of negative bacterium in your intestinal tract, which leads to, intestinal inflammation, nutrient malabsorption, things of that nature. So there's benefits to Candida, but if you have too much, even though it's technically called a parasitic organism, right? Which I guess if we all have Candida and Candida is a parasitic organism, then it's scientifically proven that we all have parasites and we can't be in denial anymore. Right, doctors and pharma types? Anybody else listening? I hope y'all are listening, because y'all really need some fucking education on this subject. But the whole point is that it's there, and it is a parasitic organism, scientifically proven to be in the body, but there are benefits to it. So, we should understand that just because you have some parasites in your body does not mean you got to try to wipe all of them out at once. Do a parasite kit, like I said, once to twice a year. I think if you're doing a cleanse that is any more than 3 to 4 weeks, you're being ridiculous. And also, time it around the full moon, so you feel better about what you're doing, even though in 3 weeks you're probably going to hit a fucking full moon cycle anyway. And also too, if you're doing parasitic blends that target larvae and eggs and all that, then what do you care what time of the fucking month it is? But anyway, they do hatch around full moon, so that's a lot of time why people, like when I'm doing my
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yep.
right. So when I'm doing my kit, all right, a lot of time I'll start it like a week going into the full moon. It's like maybe 3 or 4 days, something like that. Going into the full moon, I'm building up those compounds in my body. That way, when the hatchlings come out, they get hit, and they ain't gonna make it. Now,
Because everything cycles around the full moon. Think about how females used to cycle. It's the
Right.
same thing.
y'all still do. You should. Yeah, this whole like birth control thing and everybody's periods being out, that's crap. Like we got to talk about that, ladies. Like we can do a whole event, like a whole live about that. I would talk with y'all about that. I'm serious.
I seriously would. Because
Why-
I was red flagged and done so horrible when it came to that.
So many of y'all are. And it's like,
I'm past all
you're
that
having
stage.
bad periods? Cool. We'll put you on birth control. Like what the fuck? What the fuck?
That.
Yeah.
Like why not find out why you're having bad periods?
Yeah,
You're not even
far.
curious?
Or you're having like heavier periods than what your friends are having, and then you're talking about these clots that are coming out of you that look like they came from alien themselves.
Right.
No, and it's completely normal because you are an active teenager. I mean, like this, and now look, ladies, if the tampons and the pads didn't like shake some people up, I know, like I already knew all this. So the whole time I've been sitting here thinking I'm doing great for my daughter though, because I got her these. Come to find out, those were in the lawsuit. Are you joking?
We do reusable. We try to do reusable or handmade.
Okay,
Which
I
sounds
did.
really gross, but you can wash them. It's the same way I used to diaper the kids. But some women don't. I mean, for me, for example, I cycle with the moon, but mine were so bad because I had really horrible cysts, and they were exploding in my body every time. So we had to take stuff out because
Yeah.
yeah, I'm old enough. It doesn't matter anymore, and I have plenty of kids. But I don't. So many women don't cycle with the moon because of all the pills they're on and everything else they're doing to their bodies.
Yep.
Now, so Locke, I mean, just, you were able to get yourself onto a good herbal regimen, to help with all that, right?
Yeah, I have my own little
And
regimen that I do.
you found relief and everything?
Yep.
If you have any questions, just let me know.
No,
Like-
not at all. No, I do I took out. an
I kick ass
ovary-
at that. Like, I get people fertile again and shit. Like, I do crazy stuff. Like, it's like, you can do, like, I can tell you right now, it'll blow your mind. Like, a lot of people think that they're this, they think they're stuck in that, or have you, like, it's not true. It's not
No,
true.
it's not. No, I do a lot of raspberry tea and wild yam cream, and then I did rhodiola to balance out some hormones and some depression and stuff. But I took out an ovary and a tube last year because there wasn't many other options because the cysts were so bad.
You
They were
got a pen and
so
pad?
bad.
You got a pen and pad?
I'll find one. I'm like, I got paper somewhere. He's like, try this. I don't want any more kids though, so I don't need anything that's gonna make me fertile. I'm 41. I don't need no more children.
We'll talk about that later. Diindolylmethane, diindolylmethane, helps combat estrogen dominance. Commonly found in cruciferous vegetables, spinach, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower. Anyway, but you can get it in supplement form. I sell it.
Yeah,
Anyway.
me too.
Saw palmetto. Look into saw palmetto.
I have
So by the
some.
sounds of it, you're a walking encyclopedia, right?
I mean, on this stuff, this is my obsession. I mean, I have like good knowledge on kind of like a whole bunch of different areas. Like I'm very polymathic in that way, but really herbalism, nutrition, how to like heal and fix people. Like I'm good at working on people.
Knowledge, where are you at? I might have to come see you, dude.
I stay in Albemarle, North Carolina. just outside of
I
Charlotte.
need to sit down and have a talk with him. I got
Right.
issues.
I do. What just happened?
What is that?
I don't
Our
know. I just,
background changed. What is it?
Background change.
Oh, it's
I'm not sure.
flowers. It's
Yeah.
nature.
Oh, I can't see the chat now.
No,
I can see it, sort of.
Whoa.
This is legit.
Okay. Is that what they're trying to pick for us?
So last
This is fun.
I think so. Everyone, I think it goes next to knowledge here. So type in keywords and AI will change it or something. I believe.
yeah.
So
Oh,
that's
we got
it.
an eagle
Kinda cool.
or something? What we got?
It's like a bird, I guess. I don't
Some
know.
kind of bird.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's cool.
Plant Sniffer Society.
The plant sniffers. What up,
That's
Grow
us.
Food?
That's awesome.
Thank you, Amy. Yeah, Amy's local to me. Amy was actually my first consultation. Her and her son Bennett. They're a really sweet family. They're really good people.
I can only, that's my whole thing where I'm at. I've literally, there's one place near me, it's an hour. And I walked in and she did a lot of muscle testing, which I thought was great. And then I ended up getting really sick. And she had tried putting me on certain things, but like I've been red flagged since I was like little. I've had body parts taken out of me that now looking back, I'm like, what the?
I believe in muscle testing and all, but like I like to look at labs, panels, background, symptoms, history as much as we can, like as much information as you can give me, like, you know, and I take all that.
Like I'm adopted, so all of my medical history and all, it's so, I'm one of those that I'm not the cookie cutter. Nothing.
You'd be surprised how little information I actually need, but I like to have as much as I can.
But you should always know.
They used to, so people used to like expect me to do the medical medium shit anymore, and I cut that. I don't do that anymore. And please don't expect that out of me. I used to do that a lot and everything. And I felt like it got demanding at a certain point, and I'm just like, look, I will work with people individually, and I'm happy to, you know, it's a lot to do, especially for free.
That's
and it
my
becoming,
whole thing.
yeah, but like I will definitely sit there and like I will shoot the shit about it all day, and I will like, you know, as much as I can tell somebody. But as far as like working with someone individually and directly, you know, it's just so much better that I have information, that I know your allergies, I know what, you know, pharmas you're already on. So many of those things, you know, come into play and are a huge factor. I wouldn't want to like spit something out to somebody that's going to negatively react with their drug, which I never really had that happen. Like I never really had those problems with anything that I had done before, you know, but I got to where I wanted to be more intelligent with my energy, I suppose.
Oh,
I guess
no,
is what
I would not blame you.
Yeah, I love helping people, but
exhausting.
it is, yeah. I mean, I guess like at a certain point, I want to do my best for people too. I want to do my best for that person, like, you know. And so like I started doing the consultation thing, charging a fee. Well, I tried doing consultations free, and that did not go well. Yeah, I had a creator set up a consultation with me, and I thought it was because she needed help and everything, because she really wasn't feeling good. But she apparently, even though she wasn't feeling good and my health was, you know, in great condition, she wanted to debate me on how I was wrong. But I think regardless of the point, like I that was why she set up the consultation, was like to debate me on a certain point.
Oh wow, that's wrong.
And it
You have
was
to have all
like,
the knowledge. You have to have all the information, right? Because if you don't have
Energy
it,
wasting right there on her part, period.
it was just crazy to me. Like, and you know, obviously when it came to her situation, she was very much right about herself, but she was not right about everyone. Basically what her whole thing was, like, MTHFRs can take NAC, which MTHFRs can take NAC, yes, but a lot of MTHFRs are also sensitive to sulfuric compounds, and they'll negatively react to them very quickly. I mean, like, be put in the hospital, have, you know, a horrible reaction very quickly.
The TKI rash that forms on the back of your neck and swells all these nodes. Yeah, here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, I think she grasped it maybe for herself. Like, basically what it was because I tell MTHFRs that I prefer that they use liposomal glutathione over N-acetylcysteine. And, you know, because liposomal glutathione contains no sulfuric compounds, it's just literally the bioavailable form of the tripeptide compound. and it is easily put to use in the body while bypassing the glutathione production process in the liver. So it's like it does work well, and yeah, it's a little bit more pricey. That's the whole thing. I don't make more money off that though.
Right.
I don't make more money because the supplement costs more. Actually, I make less, and I make less sales.
Exactly.
I'm just being honest about what's going to work for you.
You don't have the whole picture, you can hurt somebody, even though if it's not intentional. Like a lot of people, I have people come to me and ask me certain questions, and I ask them all of those questions, like what meds are you on? What's your diet like? What's some of your family history? Because
some people don't get how important that is.
It's so important. You tell them one wrong thing, and we are not licensed or insured doctors, and they come after you and sue you. You're out everything if you tell somebody the wrong thing. And this country's freaking sue happy. So
yeah, I mean, I'm not overly worried about getting sued. Like a lot of the stuff we work with, y'all just ain't dangerous. That's like one of the good things is that like, as long as like, and I don't instruct people to do anything dangerous. And I also always let people know that they're responsible for their own lives. But if you want to say, get off of pharma, I can help people with that. I don't like for people to use pharmas, but if you want to stay on a pharma, I can help you minimize the negative effects of it and then improve your nutrient density with other stuff, and work with like some herbalism, some nutrition to help you with your overall issues, while you're still taking, whatever you think you still need, whether or not you actually need it. I mean, it's debatable in some situations. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. In a lot of ways, that is up to that person. It is on them. That's their life. So it's like, for instance, people who want to get off blood pressure medication. I've gone to help people get off blood pressure medication. They're like 3 or 4 different ones. I'm like, shit, where do I start? And they're like, which one should I stop taking first? I'm like, why the fuck are you taking 4 of them? Let's talk about that. Like, what, the first one didn't work? Right. So why do we continue adding? It's like, and why wasn't this caught? Why wasn't this caught by your pharmacist? Why isn't this caught by your doctor? We need to be asking these questions. Does someone go with you to your appointments? Do you write stuff down? Like, why were you prescribed this again? I mean, really though.
I created that background. It don't even look right.
I know it. I skipped it. I'm like, no, I'm not even going to try to mess it up.
That's horrible.
It kind of looks like graffiti.
Neurological burning in the head from migraines. I had a stroke and it caused gray matter damage. And I feel like I'm being poked with a hot poker inside my head, and I cannot get the burning to stop no matter what. The migraines are under control, but the burning's not, and I do not know what to do.
So, how long has this been going on?
Since 2019.
Around the same time that COVID and all that started, or?
Yeah, I had a stroke.
You had a stroke?
Yeah, and it's caused me to have really bad body paralyzing migraines, and of course I have autoimmune stuff and rheumatoid arthritis, good stuff to go with it.
When strokes happen, a lot of time we lose blood flow to major organ systems, and it can lead to permanent damage to neurological tissue. You can do things to recondition your neurological tissue and improve like your cardiovascular system that may have gotten damaged in that area as well, increasing blood flow to the brain. Corticosteroids are usually really good for this, as far as like improving the blood flow. I like, Neuromag, magnesium L-threonate, actually, for a lot of situations like this, because, it is fantastic for protecting neurological tissue. We want to protect any future damage, right? And then also, too, it'll help when it comes to improving the reconditioning of the neurological tissue as well. Glutathione, and it's like, because a lot of the oxidative stress that your body, was probably dealing with from that. So, I mean, there's several different things that I could put you toward that I think, would contribute.
I would definitely appreciate it, because like I said, I'm taking the magnesium, how you say,
glycinate.
Yeah.
So magnesium glycinate is fantastic. I mean, so we have like a magnesium. Okay, all magnesium glycinates these days actually aren't magnesium glycinates anymore. They used to be a 1-for-1, and now it's a bisglycinate. So it's actually 2 glycine compounds per 1 magnesium compound, whereas the old magnesium glycinates, it was 1 glycine molecule per 1 magnesium molecule per the compound. So it's like, anyway, basically it has good bioavailability. Glycine is a fantastic amino acid that is good for muscle recovery, good for overall health, also contributes to the production of glutathione. Glutathione being a tripeptide compound made up of 3 amino acids, cysteine, glutamine, and glycine. And so, the other thing that like, is taken into consideration here, because there's so many different things that I could do with this, but I would also like, if you had ever heard of like nootropics, Bacopa, lion's mane, things like that. Lion's mane contains compounds that like contributes to the reconditioning of neurological tissue. I don't know why the name of them isn't coming to me. Probably because I worked all day and it's like, yeah, I've been up since 4. But
I'm sorry.
no, it's great. No, it's fine. But basically, like it has some really good compounds that contribute to the reconditioning of neurological tissue. It says it on the fucking bag. I don't know why I can't say it right now. But anyway,
fix the myelin sheets.
yeah, so it contributes to the reconditioning of myelin tissue. Like myelin sheath. So your myelin sheath is like your portion of your neurological tissue that like connects to your major tissues that actually kind of like embrace those or reach those connections, actually, bring that to the main neurological system. So it's like when you have myelitis, that's inflammation of your myelin sheath, of your myelin tissue. And this is, one of the first signs of degradation, permanent degradation of neurological tissue, permanent damage. And there's more serious, this can happen all over the body, by the way. Myelitis can happen anywhere where neurological tissue might connect, which is your organ systems. Think about it. Your neurological system is going to, keep timing on your organ systems and your organ system function.
Yeah, it affects my muscles and everything. I mean, it's just like I'm walking normal, I think, but it's like my body feels like I have just overexerted. And I'm like, my muscles hurt and cramp. I'm like, oh my God, why am I hurting? It's my burning in my head, but it affects everything. I'm just at wit's end. And I take the Ayurvedic infusions and moringa. That's it. That's it.
I can see moringa being helpful as far as contributing, some of the good minerals that we're looking for, like the magnesium and the potassium. Really, potassium, that's going to be another big one. I had mentioned that earlier. But mainly because we're talking like muscle tissue and stuff as well. But magnesium is going to be the main thing as far as like protecting neurological tissue. Magnesium protects neurological tissue in the presence of oxidizers and several other, situations. But yeah, getting into nootropics like bacopic extract, which, has really good effectiveness for improving circulation to the brain, chelating toxins from the brain, most specifically aluminum. Bacopicides have actually been found to cross the blood-brain barrier and help to purge toxins back out of it. One of the few substances that have been found to actually do that. Glutathione is one of the other ones. And by the way, like, aluminum, for a lot of people who don't know, especially with all the fluoride and stuff that we're consuming and everything, the aluminum easily goes into, purges through the blood-brain barrier and everything and doesn't easily come back out. So when we're contributing nutritional compounds that run the stuff back out, it kind of sounds like fucking magic if you know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's crazy. So it's definitely good to have those, get those in our body. But, I think the lion's mane is good. There's good, clinical information on lion's mane and good science on, it contributing to, brain health, better memory, better, memory retainment, Alzheimer's and dementia type symptoms, things like that.
Okay, so now do you have these products or does anybody up here have them?
Oh, I sell like pretty much everything I was just talking about because like I've worked in the supplement industry for years. Like this is what I've always done on this app. It's like, there's a lot of people like that come on here and they like develop a following, and then like, they get big and they end up like having to try to figure out what sells and, they kind of like get into supplements. Like that's not me. I've like literally, that's what I've done here. We are, it's like Spartans, what is your profession? But like on the real, that's why I kind of like, I have my own standard to it. But yeah, I'm really big about like the way I source things, very picky. It's like I try to get, good brands, well sourced, well certified, things like that. No junk, no excipients or low to no excipients. And so, but yeah, like I'll be picking up probably like more of my sales lives and stuff like that, but you can always visit my storefront showcase. You just click on me and go to my profile and, my store is right there.
Okay, I
So
definitely will. Sorry for taking up the time, guys. I really appreciate all the information. I've been wearing EJ out about it.
Debbie, before you go, knowledge, can I ask you a question? I heard that Crystal and Debbie is having issues with their muscles and having muscle pain and so on. Hexane-free organic castor oil, won't that help them to soothe the muscle pain?
I could see castor oil, especially like applied like at night or just like while you're resting. Yeah, and it
Yes.
does actually absorb very well into the skin.
Yes,
Maybe
it
adding.
actually, from what I've learned from Barbara O'Neill, I'm sure everybody knows Barbara O'Neill, that castor oil actually penetrates the deepest out of the bunch to repair from the inside out.
I
So
believe that.
with the issue that Debbie's having with having muscle pains, it'll probably not sort out the crux of her problem, but it will help soothe with the muscle pain, I'm sure.
Yeah, so and you can always this is the thing is that and I like that people use like the different oils, castor oil and this and that and all, but I've always only identified these as carrier oils. I very seldom use them just on their own. Like I'm always adding stuff to them for the most part if I'm going to use them. So say like if I'm doing something for muscle pain, I'm gonna make like an icy hot type thing. I'm gonna get like I'm gonna do like a lavender and peppermint, in combination with the castor oil or something like that. As long as like the person's not gonna react to it, that would be the type of things that I would want to go toward. Something that's gonna have the cooling and the heating, and the soothing. And lavender actually treats pain on the neurological level, and so
You'd want to
applying it
add a little
topically.
bit of cayenne in there too. Not a lot, just a little bit. Use that vasodilator to get it in there. And of course, because of the expense of it, but Wahi Bra, I guess. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time pronouncing your name. Wahi. Another good
Oh wait,
carrier.
sorry. This is my, like I said earlier. Sorry to interrupt you. This is my new account, but I'm actually Uncle Joe on TikTok on the other one.
Oh, okay. Well, hello, Uncle Joe. Another good oil, but it is a little bit more expensive, is emu oil. It is a wonderful penetrating oil. I actually like it a little bit more than I do the castor oil.
That stuff is expensive, and it is very beneficial. It carries a lot of like fatty acid compounds that you're not going to find in a lot of the other oils. So I would actually attest at times response there.
So
Because at the moment I've got a remedy that I use with cayenne pepper, coconut oil, a little bit of castor oil, and I'm actually Afrikaans, so those little things you put on your tooth that you bite onto them, what do you call that? That helps with pain?
Clover.
Cloves.
Cloves. That's the one. Yes. So and then clove extract with the coconut oil, and then the cayenne pepper and the castor oil is mixed together. That's what I actually use for my arthritis.
Awesome.
I could definitely see that being effective.
Yes, it
Most
works. It
certainly.
works. It works 100%. On my left wrist, I actually torn some ligaments on the top side of my wrist, and it actually at some point I couldn't even lift a cup of coffee. So since I've been using that, and that's now about 3 months, just less than 3 months that I've been using that, and my hands actually much more mobile and usable.
That's wonderful. Another thing, just off top of my head, that would have even bumped up the effectiveness would be a little bit of comfrey. It's very healing for tissues repair on a topical level.
Yeah, I like comfrey for healthy people. It's like if you're healthy and you're not, kind of riddled with like chronic ailments and things like that, yes. But if you are chronically ill, please don't use comfrey. And if you do use comfrey, plan on sleeping, because that shit'll knock you out. Like when you go to sleep, it's like I sleep through alarms when I use comfrey.
I don't never,
Straight up.
to be honest, as much as I mess with comfrey, I have never used it on an internal basis. I have only used comfrey topically.
No. Don't ever use it internally. Don't ever use comfrey internally. What I'm saying is if you were using it topically, chronically ill people should not use comfrey topically
Oh, I
either.
thought you were saying.
Yeah,
Okay,
like,
sorry.
but yeah, definitely do not use it internally. No, like I just want to clarify what I was saying there because I might have like confused people about. Thank you for clarifying, by the way, Time, because I might have confused people with the way I was saying it. But no, definitely like use it only externally, preferably with a carrier oil, but you don't always have to. Depending upon like your tincture, and mode that you got. But yeah, for like my sick people, my chronically ill people, it's going to pull nutrients from other places in your body toward that area that you may need in other parts of your body. It's going to put stress on those organ systems by doing so. It does have its own nutrients that it contributes. Comfrey is full of nutrients, but the mechanisms that it works off of is it's borderline magical. I mean, but there's a give and take with it. It really does. Like I said, you just want to make sure you're being aware of how it's going to affect your other stuff that you got going on. And like I said, be ready to rest when you use comfrey. But yeah, you're looking at a much quicker healing process. Wounds will close quickly. Make sure wounds are very clean if you're going to use comfrey on or near a wound, because it will close up around whatever's left there. That's how fast. Like naturally, our skin actually likes to push that stuff out. By the way, but comfrey will grow your skin and wound back together so fast it'll just heal up around it.
Right. Now, moringa oil has really good effects for healing and stuff like that. I think Debbie, she used it on, or was it? Wasn't no, it wasn't Debbie. It was Mary from Luma Tea, and I think I just did a video with it reacts with fungus too. It doesn't like fungus, so with ringworm and other stuff, but it has a because it's if you put it in water and stuff like that, it's killing all the parasites and detoxifying it. So when you use it as an oil on yourself, for cuts and bruises and stuff like that, it has a very fast antibodies and reduces swelling and pain. So
yeah, moringa contributes a lot of good stuff like antioxidants, carotenoids. It has magnesium, calcium. Moringa is good for breastfeeding moms, lactating moms. Good for you can do moringa if you're pregnant. I'm pretty sure you can. I'm fairly certain you can do moringa if you're pregnant. Yeah, so good for pregnant moms too.
But the oil itself, a lot of people you can. And you can use these for oil pulling. You can use the powder actually with bentonite clay. And you guys, it's detoxing. It helps with the inflammation. There's a lot of benefits that people. I know most people just take it in their drink and just down it, but there's so many benefits on how to use it. It's endless. It's pretty. You can add it with different stuff. As we're talking about comfrey. So you can, it will enhance or work with a lot of these other herbs. So,
yeah, moringa with comfrey, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, if you're going to use comfrey, yeah, definitely it would be good to add the nutrients into your diet that, would recondition those tissues as well as much as you can. I mean, hopefully, generally that's a given, right? For a lot of my people who've been following me for a while. But for anyone, especially if like you're new to me or new to a lot of this, type of information, all that, new to this crowd, yeah, definitely you want to get when you're trying to recondition tissues, you want to get the nutritional factors for the reconditioning of those tissues into your body. So say it's like skin tissue, collagen, things like that, bone tissue. We want to get our magnesium, our calcium in, our vitamin D, things like that. So, but hey, y'all, From Them Farms, thank you for having me once again. EJ, you're awesome, bro. And great hanging out with all y'all. Time, you always share great information. Me and you bounce back and forth from each other really well. I like having conversations with you.
Seeing you.
Yeah, you're awesome for real though.
I
Keep doing what you're
enjoy
doing.
sitting with you. I learned so much. I'm just sitting here taking it all in. You're the guy that I could sit in a room with and just talk about nutrition and herbs forever. I love that.
Amen.
That's why I was even happy sitting here in the corner listening and taking in all of this new and awesome information. Knowledge,
Yeah,
thank
thank
you,
you,
bud.
Owen.
I really appreciate, bro. And you're going to hear quite a bit from me. If you don't mind me DMing you, I'm going to have a shitload of questions.
Yeah, I'll give you a follow back. And definitely appreciate the love, Matt. I appreciate your personality, bro. And keep on with what you're doing. I know you're kind of like newer to this realm, I guess, a little bit than some of us, but it's all about the care, the realness, the passion. But ultimately, just being yourself and remembering why we're all here in the first place. Like, don't forget that. I have to remind myself that sometimes.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a fun world. I've only been into it for, I don't know, about a year, but yeah, it's awesome and amazing. I've been doing the health food thing always. I've done juice diets, all that. So I see the importance and the benefits of going back to nature. And like, I used to think that all this herbalism stuff was witchcraft and fake. But then I realized, no, dude, it's the pharmaceuticals that's the witchcraft, man. That's the bad stuff. It's all the nature stuff that's out there that we need to really be getting back to. So, I mean, you've got some, I love the name, dude. You've got some awesome knowledge. Obviously, you've spent a lot of time and commitment to looking into this, and it's awesome to see you sharing it and giving people advice. And it looks like you really have a desire to help and heal people, which is awesome, man.
I just wish I had more availability, but thank you.
Dude.
Hey, I love all y'all. I got to be up in like 4 hours, so have a good night.
See you,
Thank
man.
you, Songbird.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, everybody.
Good night,
Thanks
bud.
for letting me up. Knowledge, thank you so much.
Love y'all. Be good to each other.
See, and that's why I have people on here like that, Matt. And it's just, and this is the kind of environment. Everyone's story here, we started with something because something wasn't working for us. We tried what the doctors and everyone was telling us, and we just had to take our own control over our own bodies or just our own health in general, because
Thanks, Knowledge. Good night, bud.
wasn't helping any, but we just decided. So this panel that you see here, everyone's done their diligence. Even myself, I started out like you, Matt, and just like everyone else in here, but with all these people around you, it's just soaks in, and you got to learn. Have no clue.
Yeah.
It's like in the country, but you have to adapt, right? So I gain a lot of knowledge on a lot of this stuff, and I love putting it out to everybody and meeting. A lot of people met you today. A lot of people meet knowledge for the first time, and that's my whole goal. The more of us that are exposed out there, people are going to say, "Hey, this isn't we're quacks or whatever."
Right.
We're trying to help. We're honestly trying to give people another option. Hey, if this is not working for you, I'm not telling you to switch and keep doing what you're doing. But maybe, just maybe, taking your shoes off and standing on the ground, grounding might help. Just maybe taking this tincture might do something. Growing your moringa trees and
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I've got I had a crazy story about a tincture. So I used to live in Arizona and started working at this dispensary, and I started having some massive pain in my side. And I talked to the lady. She's like, "Yeah, take this tincture." So I started taking the tincture. Ended up going to the emergency room. They looked at it. So I went to the emergency room. They couldn't find anything. Then I ended up taking this tincture. Took it for about a year, no problem. Ended up moving to Tennessee. Stopped taking the tincture because it wasn't legal in that state. Started having the massive pain again. Went to the emergency room. They're like, "Dude, your appendix is about ready to burst." So taking a tincture for a year kind of just somehow help that appendix.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. And yeah, so I was like, wow, obviously there's more to it than just some
Right.
hype. So
That's the scary part of it. When I realized that each and every pharmaceutical that comes over a counter is petroleum based.
oh yeah, oh completely.
I mean, now,
yeah.
and they sell it to you.
Well, yeah, and you just got to
crap.
listen to the disclaimers. May cause anal bleeding, blindness, death.
Exactly, but
You're like, seriously?
If you get any, I mean, personally, I have not taken any pharmaceutical for more than 4 years. And I mean, if you look at it and you look at that leaflet that's inside the box, there are more negatives than positives on any and all of them.
Yeah. Take one, it'll help something, but then you got to take one too.
I'm in
Take
South
care of the
Africa.
effects. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm in South Africa. But what is the third highest cause of death in America? Pharmaceuticals. That's not mentioned. Why not?
Wow. Yeah.
That's the third highest cause of death is pharmaceutical error.
I
That's
think
not
it was
even including the medical error. That's
Right.
just pharmaceuticals.
someone I had. I don't know if it was a guest that I had or someone was talking about. They were going to the doctor and they were saying, "Hey doc, what I can," and the doctor gave him a prescription. He goes, "Well, I don't really know about that prescription. I've heard some stuff or whatever. Well, let me ask you a question." And the doctor says, "Sure." He's all, "How many people has that prescription that you subscribed to me that you want to take, has it healed?"
Oh yeah.
And he goes, 0. He goes, okay. He's all, "That prescription that you want to give me, how many has it unalived?"
Yeah.
And he goes, or taking that medication. No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. And, he says, "How many people has healed or actually has gotten off that medication and has lived or whatever?" And he says 0.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's like, it's and that's what it's a practice. It's a 50-50 chance. They're whatever. And I had a discussion with that someone on another platform. It says, okay, that's great. I think it was a panel. So in our government, our panel of health experts are all overweight or have some thyroid or whatever issue. They're not sure about their gender or whatever it is. But these are our experts that are in that we're supposed to set the example, and the people make excuses for these people. And there's doctors in there saying, "Hey, these people that you're saying that are leading our country or whatever, these people have health issues." And they're saying, "Well, they're overweight is because they have a thyroid." Well, there's something in their body that's not healthy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It's,
that it's just a thing and you're shaming people. No, we're telling you that you should be listening to these people. If they're on medications, they're not healthy. But these people that are telling you, hey, being healthy and doing the right nutrition, eating right, and like I said, you guys heard my story all the time. My doctor, even though they keep making my subscriptions higher and higher and pills kept getting fatter and fatter and adding more and more stuff, I'm like, "Doc, this ain't working." And finally I started doing my own stuff and they're like, "Man, you're doing great. The medication's working." No, doc, I haven't taken the medication over 4 months. And they just look at you like, not saying, "Hey, great job. Okay, if that's working, let's continue on that. Let's monitor it. And if it's whatever, we'll put you back on the medication." No, it's like I slapped them in the face and they said, "The medication." They don't care that you improved your health. That's their whole point. We're supposed to improve my health. Doc, I improved my health. And it was without your help.
Right.
Well,
Well,
with
yeah,
your
it's
help,
it's not
do
about
it.
improving health anymore. I mean, there's a really cool documentary years ago. I watched it. Did it? It's Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. I'm sure you've heard of it. Great, about juice diets but I was watching went over to a friend's house and was watching a TV and a commercial came on and they were talking about, when you eat this food, do you get this? Or you having irritable bowels? And I'm like, oh, this is so awesome. I was like, I haven't watched TV for a long time. Finally, doctors are talking about a healthy diet. No, they didn't tell you to stop eating cheeseburgers and McDonald's and Burger King. They said continue doing that, but just take this pill. So it's no longer about health. Doctors don't care about your health. They just want to push the pharmaceuticals. It's sad.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
pushed it during the COVID. They pushed, hey, if you take the
Well, that's all they're taught in medical school.
Yeah,
Fix this,
right.
fix this. They're
Yeah.
not taught to fix the problem.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's how to treat the symptoms. It's
Yeah,
here, take this
exactly.
drug.
Whoever's getting paid up the most that
Yeah.
month, but that's why they don't like chiropractors. Because
right,
they're
right,
natural. I love those doctors. They're so knowledgeable.
right. So
Also, that's why when you go to any doctor, he tells you take these and come back if they don't work.
right, and we'll give you something else. We'll try a new drug on you.
Yeah,
But-
you try something
Toss
else.
them in the trash and don't go back.
Yeah.
Right. This
I
is
don't even go there the first time. I go to God's meds. It's there for a reason.
God's meds.
yeah. This is Black Woman, everybody, and she's a good friend of mine. If you guys know, she's great. She's his little sister to me. We're family.
Sorry. Tell me to shut up, black woman.
So she does. This is what she does. She goes and talks for us and advocates for us through these hospitals, and she. I'll let her tell you what she has something to say, but she always has great stuff. Make sure you guys are following my good friend here. She's a big supporter. She goes and fights against these hospitals and all this stuff that they're doing, with us and with all this crap. But go ahead, Black Woman.
Hey, you beautiful people. Hello, hello. I'm out of TikTok jail today. So I'm listening to this great conversation that you all are having. And I always tell people, hospitals, doctors, pharmacists, these are for-profit businesses. And in order to turn a profit, they must have patients. In order to get the patients, they must provide the need. In order to provide the need, the patients must be sick. And in order to make them sick, you have to poison the water, the air, the soil, the food. And this has been a very long journey for me. EJ, whom I love from the farms, and this is all that I talk about nearly every live that I'm on. It's so important, everything that he is doing. But EJ, as well as a few other people, have been hanging in here with me since I was diagnosed with cancer 2021, and it was from a car accident. And I actually have uncontrolled medically induced and food induced diabetes. My blood glucose levels, even today, is running in the high 4s, 500. Sometimes it'll get up to 6. I'm not even supposed to be diabetic, so I have a lot of different life-threatening things going on. But I just wanted to say to you all this. The minute that we realize that these people are in this for the money and that it affects all of us, even the doctors, because you guys, I'd be hooping and hollering and screaming about these doctors, and I have pictures and labs and everything. So I post just about everything so that you guys will know that this insane story is actually real. But they're doing something to all of us, because I know doctors that have cancer. I know doctors that have endocrine problems, dermatology issues. And so it's just amazing. But I want to say this, and I'm going to be quiet. Please go to YouTube and follow Dr. David Brownstein, Sought Your Way to Health. Dr. David Brownstein with Lynn Farrell, The Iodine Crisis. And then you have Dr. I forgot her name. It's called the Magnesium Miracle. Dr. Carolyn Dean, MD, ND. And then last but not least, my most beautiful person that's no longer here with us. His name is Andreas Moritz, Andreas. Last name Moritz, Mortiz. He gave me a copy. He sent me a copy of the book, The Amazing Liver Cleanse and Gallbladder Flush. And this was before he even published the book. And I didn't get back with him. He called and left me a message. Hey, how you doing? And I didn't get back with him. And it was Butterfly Lover 63, Butterfly Lover Kimberly 63, who was our local veterinary technician with the skills and the education of a veterinary doctor. She was like, he passed away, and I really felt really bad for that, about that. But those are my must-have reads. I would suggest everyone go and get them. And if you are in Georgia, if you are anywhere near Georgia, anywhere in California, please go and follow From Them Farms and follow Farm Fresh 24/7. This is the best thing that you could ever do in your life. We need good, clean food. We are at war. We are under attack. Our food is under attack. Our water is under attack. So I'll leave it there. Peace and good health to each of you. Thank you for letting me chime in. EJ, I love you always.
Anytime. And she does a lot of advocating through these, hospitals or whatever, medical, fighting for our rights and stuff. But don't kid you. She does a lot of experiments with plants. I'll put it that way. She does a lot of changing. She has, I think, 9 or 10 plants under her belt. So she knows what she's talking about when she talks about plants and crossing them or whatever her plant. But she only does it for her health purposes or whatever. Doesn't do it for the public. Doesn't sell any of her plants. I think her latest one was a cayenne pepper and aloe vera. So you're getting both benefits of the plant. But she does a lot of crossbreeds like this or whatever.
That's awesome. So it's growing.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yes.
That is too cool. That's very cool. I've seen some people do that, and that's crazy. That's awesome.
She's got other plants that she's put on her belt. Like I said, she has 9 of them that I've personally seen her cross do, and she has a lot of knowledge just in plants, soil, bees, just all kinds of stuff. Her background is phenomenal. She's modest. She doesn't put a lot of that stuff out, and her journey, everyone I fall into, Matt, even Joe here, we all came in on this platform. Even Debbie or whatever, is because they needed to be here for that content or that thing or look for something. As people are going to be following you and looking at your great stuff, just on what you're doing. You haven't been speaking about it much, and you've been showing us the stuff, but more people are catching on. More people are doing what you're doing. More people are saying, hey, you know what? That's I'll do it. Just won't tell anybody, but they're secretly, just because a lot of this stuff, like you said, and I tell people, hey, if you want to see what your pharmaceutical stuff is doing, take ibuprofen one time. Just take one pill and then go do blood work. See if that doctor doesn't call you or nurse or whoever call you within an hour and saying, hey, you know what? Your liver enzymes are through the roof.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then you tell them, oh, well, I had an ibuprofen. And they know immediately. There's no hesitation in their voice. They're, oh, Oh yeah, well, we'll monitor that. We'll have you do it again. And just make sure you one ibuprofen. And you're thinking, hey man, I'm relieving pain. I'm doing this, but yeah, man, it's tearing up your liver, man. Gut health is really important. That's why Alma, she's usually here,
yes.
I'm a specialist, and she'll tell you take care of
Yeah.
your gut.
Yeah.
And
Have you seen? No, I'm sure you have, but what do they call it? The fecal transplants. So,
Yes.
so there was. I think they did an experiment with some twins, and they were both the same weight and everything. One had a fecal transplant, and the others just couldn't keep the weight off. Just got obese, and like nothing changed except for that. And then just going into saying just how important that a digestive system is, and the gut health, and how that could be, crazy stuff, man. But all this is, I think we've lost a lot of this, through pharmaceuticals. I think we all kind of got a little lazy, but it's just trying to find out these secrets that our ancestors used to know, getting back to eating the health and taking care of ourselves, and working again for being healthy, rather than just going down the street and buying some processed food. So
That's like me years ago. I used to do all natural stuff, and I worked for a chiropractor and stuff, and would be like y'all, helping everybody out. Moved to Tennessee, nothing here. Unless you something off of Dr. Oz. I'm like, no, I don't want that. So then I had to get into the Western medicine because I didn't have my Florida hookups no more. And then I found EJ, and I'm like, help me get out of this ugly world I'm in, because all I used to do it is making me gain weight, making me feel bad. My body stress is attacking me. I don't know what's up, and I forgot everything that I used to know. So I'm starting over.
Good. Yeah, it's a journey. It's a lifestyle. We can't gain all the knowledge. I mean, like I said, you have a lot of herbalists here. We have a gut specialist in the chat right here, Alma. But we're always learning, and just from each other. The more we know, the more we have, and it's better for us. And this is what I'm always, because this whole thing is about creating a community, not only on here. As Black Woman was talking about, Farm Fresh 24/7, he's building communities. They're building communities. But my theory is, if us four we're just here and we're our own community, someone's got to know how to plant food. Someone's got to know how to heal. Someone's got to know different stuff. But if we all have that knowledge, it's more powerful in building. Because Matt, the herb specialist, and he didn't teach any of us. And if he gets sick or something happens, maybe he's gone, or maybe something happened or whatever, we're screwed, you know? But if we all have that knowledge, we can help each other. If it's planting, if it's growing, if it's doing herbs, if it's learning a little bit about something, maybe we didn't know. Hey, like a lot of people, just being talking about moringa or micrograins or something, a lot of people don't know the other benefits that it has. It's multiple benefits, and most people are familiar with the powder of the leaves. They're not familiar with the flowers, the seeds, the pods, the roots. They're not familiar with the oil. They just, the basic. The flowers are potent as heck, man. They're great stuff. You can mix it and do with anything. He has the seeds. You can eat them like green beans. It's so beneficial, and not just for us. It's great for our soil, and it's great for our animals. So it's so beneficial. But
I got my 2 dogs on it.
How often do you get pods? I'm curious where you're at.
So now, you can have 2 things on a moringa tree. You can have seeds and pods, or you can have the leaves. So if you let it, of course, the flowers when they bloom. So if you want to, and that's why it's good to have multiple trees. That way you can have seeds and you can have leaves, but you can't have both. So you can, but there you go. Wow, yeah. So
these,
you want to pick?
I got these probably about 2 months ago, and I've got a whole bunch more that are coming in. I mean, I don't know if that's normal, or
So
maybe it's
yeah,
just because where I'm at. It's insane, dude.
so what you have is the pods. Now, if you
Yeah.
did the flowers, if you took the flowers before, because the moringa tree, it's self pollination, it's self whatever, it's male and female, it does its. So if you take the flowers, pinch them off or take them off before it starts to, and you won't have any pods for that. You're gonna have more leaves. It just depends
Yeah,
which way.
I usually cut them down when they get about probably about 4 or 5 feet tall. And I take all the leaves off, and then I replant the stems. But I've got two or three that I wanted to just grow, and yeah, they've gotten big, and I mean they are just throwing these pods out like nothing. It's insane. Like I said, I picked those a few months ago, and I've got more that I could go harvest again.
You look up there's several ways, or there's two good ways to actually make your own oil. So you can cook it, which is a different process, and then you can cold press. Now I've actually, one of the guys, he actually made his own doohickey with a Makita drill and a press and stuff, and pressed his
Yeah,
own.
I've got a press for my juice. Got a 5-ton jack on a
But
yeah.
But you can press this, cold press the oil, and man, it's so beneficial. And there's a process for that, scooping it off and doing the whole thing because you want a golden brown color. But those seeds alone, man, that's gold right there, man. You know, especially there in Florida. I mean, there's so many of moringa trees out there. A lot of farmers out there. And there was a guy, I think he's not too far from you. I'm trying to think of the location. But I think he had 110 acres. I think he had over 2,000 trees that died. I mean, he stopped growing them or whatever. So but it's the never die tree. So
dude.
It's loaded with pods. It's like yours. So you have 2,000 trees that are loaded with seeds. So, you know, he's like, hey. So he and the new guy who bought the property or bought the trees and stuff from that farmer, he's like, what do I do? Do I have to cut them all down and start over? He's like, no, look at it this way. You got a whole seed oil processing thing, so it can be good. But if you're in this kind of business or whatever, after a certain amount of years, 5 years, more than 10 years, you want to not use those for commercial. You want to use those for yourself or whatever. You want to plant new trees, to replace those ones. So it's, especially if you're, because they bloom, the harvests are full.
Yeah.
They start to slow down after 10 years. But great.
And that's why I usually do. I tell people who are going to grow them, I'm like, I just do moringa bushes. I just they get a few feet tall, cut it, strip it, and then you get multiple shoots come up after you cut one down. It's insane.
What Kendrick does, if you fall, he cuts it so the center, and and that's why he makes kind of a step so he can trim it. But you harvest every 30 days. I think 30 to 90 is the max, or whatever.
That's probably about right. Yeah.
You keep making that bush. They keep sprouting, but it's the only tree like you because they grow so fast. They're great for microgreens. That's why we have the microgreens kits. But you can harvest these every 30 days, and that's what's those fresh leaves, those small leaves are the microgreens. So you can benefit those. That's 40% more of your nutrients in that leaf. So it's so beneficial. But you can keep them short. And a lot of people are like, man, I got this tree. It's like 15 feet tall. And I'm like, you can harvest that. You can bring all the way down the shelf, because a lot of people, and that's what a lot of you are afraid of growing it because you live in a cold climate. That's okay, because they're seasonal. You can, unless you live somewhere like where Matt lives, and I think even yours are seasonal too, right? Or is it you?
Well, they don't grow as well. I'll get some leaves, but not much. Some shoots, but probably for a few months, several months. In the wintertime, they're just not as active as like right now. Oh my gosh. Like I've got one out in the yard that my dad's run over it with the lawnmower when he was down here last year. My wife keeps running it over with the lawnmower. I mean, this thing gets, a few inches and then they chop it down. I'm like, stop hitting that tree. But it comes up. I mean, it's these things just want to live, man. It's an amazing tree. And I ended up digging that one up. That's what my roots are. The root is massive. In Florida, we've got, sand. So, I mean, I think I dug down probably about 3 feet and I still didn't get to the bottom of that taproot. I'm like, this is insane. It's an incredible tree.
A moringa tree, and EJ, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but a moringa tree in the first 8 months, taproot actually goes up to 6 feet straight down.
I could believe that.
6 feet, and that's within the first 8 months. Now, I actually got into moringa. Well, I wouldn't say I got into moringa, but I got interested in moringa just before I met EJ, and then when I met EJ, I got into it, and I did some studies, and it's one of the most versatile trees that. I haven't tested it yet, but they say that it actually produces electricity where you can put a 12-volt bulb in it and it actually produces light. Now, I've never tested that.
I've got a lot of trees. I may have to try that. I'll have to look up that experiment.
Please go and have a look at it.
Yes.
Please, and let me know. Because they say if you put 2 probes in and you put a 12-volt globe in, it should illuminate the globe. So my logic tells me if you've got moringa trees around your property and you've got 12-volt globes on them, why do you need perimeter lights?
Well, you were saying that if it goes 6 feet down, that's deep into the earth. I mean,
yeah, but that's only in the first 8 months.
Right. So you're going to be pulling.
It goes down deeper than that, but
dude, I want to do it so bad right now.
Actually, in the first 8 months. Like I said, what I done, Matt, I actually done some research and quite a couple of months that I've done, and I've actually designed a course for growing moringa from seed to harvest.
Oh, cool.
That's going into the technical details and the content. And the best part of the whole thing is that the soil preparation, no matter where you are. If your soil is prepared properly and you got enough biomass into that soil, I mean, what do you know about biochar, Matt?
Yeah. I know it's good. I haven't made any. I've got a massive burn pit that I'm making ash, but not the biochar.
Okay, now the biochar, if you take, let's say, a handful of crushed biochar, a double scoop handful of crushed biochar, it is so porotic that if you measure the surface area of all porous holes right through the thing, of a double handful, the surface area comes together as 4 football field surface area. If you got enough biomass in your ground, in your preparation, and getting your microbiome ready and active, with enough biomass, biochar, giving them, I mean, if you think about it, biochar is like a luxury hotel for nematodes and arthropods and microarthropods and the microbiology. So if you put 4 football fields, surface area, every square meter, if you even put more than that, let's say if you put on 1 acre, 1 ton of biochar, your soil can retain up to 250,000 extra liters of water.
Yeah.
Retain, that it doesn't run away. And not only does it retain all of that and mass produce, and I can say it again, mass produce nutrients and minerals and microbiome that your plants need. It also prevents frost underground.
Right. That's cool. Yeah, and that's, I'm amazed by, so my favorite plants are the moringa and the mullein. I love mullein. I love moringa. And those are two plants that thrive in horrible soil. Moringa, from usually when I find it, it's growing
Yes.
in rocks wherever there's no other vegetation.
Moringa is a very hardy tree, and it's
Yeah,
also very drought resistant.
yeah. So I'm in Florida, and so Florida here, I mean, it's sand. It's like beach sand. It's hydro. You pour water on it, let the water sit for 10 minutes, and then you take your finger, and it's dry underneath. The water doesn't soak in.
Yeah.
It's horrible, but moringa thrives here. It loves it, and it's an
You
it's
know,
an
it's the
amazing
same
tree.
thing where people, where, let me ask you this. Where is the worst soil in the world?
I'd say Florida, but I'm sure there's a worse place.
The Amazon jungle.
No way. That's some
Yes, sir.
beautiful soil. I'd expect,
No,
right?
it's not.
What?
No, sir. If you go onto
Wow.
the Amazon jungle, underneath, the soil is so infertile that everything grows on the top. If you look at any
Yeah,
video
okay.
or any
Yep.
movie that you've seen, where do the tree roots grow?
That's true, because, yeah, you got so much mulch and
Now, there is some sections where they have what they call, I think, under correction of the name, it's terracotta soil. Something like that. It's black soil. Where the indigenous people have actually marked out certain sections in the Amazon and they burnt it down. Everything burnt down. Where all of that biomass then went into the ground and they done it over and over and over.
wow.
And that is where some people are actually importing that soil from there.
Mm.
I mean, if you look at even a desert, the most drought desert, there's no water nowhere, in the middle of the desert. There's enough nutrients and minerals in that sand for any plant. Any plant. The problem is that it's not available to the plants.
Right.
I mean, if you go and you look at any farmer and you get those oaks that call themselves professionals to come and test the soil, what do they test for? They only test available minerals, nutrients, and vitamins to your plant. They don't test what is there. They test what is available. So then what happens is they tell you what your soil needs, and they put the salt-based crap in the soil, and next year you need more and extra, additional of this and that. And it's worse every year. Instead of telling you how to repair the soil so that you can have available what your plant needs.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, also, everybody's worried about pH levels of plants and pH levels of pots and pH levels.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a bunch of cuck. It's bullshit. Because each nutrient gets taken up at a different pH level. So how can we try and control a pH level if the nutrients the plant needs gets taken up in different sections of the root mass in different pH levels? Because you can't, the plant, the exudates the plant puts out for the microbiome to come and produce the minerals that they need. Because the plant puts out exudates, nematodes, arthropods, microarthropods, they come and they eat those exudates. And then the big arthropods and the earthworms and all of those, they eat those and they crap out, and that is the minerals that the plant needs at that specific point. And at that point, the aluminium or the metals that it needs or the iron that it needs or whatever, that gets taken up at a very much higher pH level than what calcium and magnesium and potassium and all of that gets taken up. So the people are concentrating too much about pH levels and soil pH levels and all of that crap, instead of putting enough biomass so that your plant can control and regulate its own living area. We must stop trying to give the plants minerals and and vitamins and all of that crap, and create the soil so that they can supply it to themselves.
Yeah.
You see,
And,
that
and
is,
trying to replant stuff that's actually going to help the soil rather than just mass
yes,
produced farming.
and
And I
you
think
see,
that's
that
the
is,
issue is we're
yes.
mass producing these farms. We're killing and rotting the soil and not putting anything back to revitalize it. So we've got,
But
yeah.
yes. I mean, if you take it, like EJ will back me on this one. If you plant a moringa tree in your veggie garden, you're not going to need no more nutrients, no more minerals, no more nothing else to add anything anywhere close to that tree. Nothing. It's the best companion plant for any vegetable, anything you plant.
And because it has an enzyme in it called zeatin, which goes back into the soil. So why it's the best companion plant? It helps other plants around it germinate faster and have bigger yields. The zeatin is what makes it grow so fast, the tree itself, and it actually, that same is actually loved in cosmetics and stuff because it's called the fountain of youth. But chop and drop, use it's the number one natural fertilizer, number one pest control, water erosion. The plant does tremendous stuff, just like sunflower. And a lot of people, and this is the most common thing, and people think, well, because moringa's in the U.S., you guys have crappy soil and this and that. Yeah, that's true. But, any farmer is going to make sure their soil is great. But moringa pulls all the toxins and pulls all the metals out.
Right.
And they've tested it. You can test it. If you know that soil's crap, a year after being in there, and you can try the leaves, you can test the bark, you can test any of it, all of it's gone. It's all pulled out of there. It's all pulled away, and it does a lot of different stuff. So that's why we make the biofertilizer or biochar. You can grind that stuff up that you did, leaves, stems, and everything. And it has its own DNA in it, so it's going to go. That's why it's the number one companion plant. You can plant an older tree with the younger trees, and it's going to teach that other plant or whatever what it needs to do and what nutrients it needs. And it's because it has that. So moringa is like the best stuff. You can chop and drop that, put right in your back in your garden, grind it up, spread it all over whatever you want to put it in. You can put it in a tincture or water, and spray that stuff every 15 days on your plants. You're going to have. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Huh, that's a cool idea. I never thought. Yeah, you could totally make a compost tea out of it. Just
right. There's a guy in Nicaragua, but he specializes in his. That's actually where we would get our our liquid from. He's built. He's an engineer and stuff. He built it cooks for 16 hours. And this is his baby, his special. He's like Coca-Cola. You ain't getting any secrets from this guy, but the stuff's awesome, and it's made from purely moringa. It's a liquid, and it's amazing. But like I said, sunflowers do the same thing. Sunflowers have a thing; they'll pull toxins from the. A lot of people put the Spanish. I think it's the Mexican sunflower, Spanish sunflower.
Yeah, that's what I've got. I got Mexican sunflower.
You do that. That's right.
Yep.
But that's common.
Fast growing plant.
It's amazing. It's amazing. But that's common with the moringa. A lot of people there in Florida love that Spanish sunflower.
Yeah,
and
I started making tinctures out of it. It's let's see. I thought I had it on my list somewhere. Mexican sunflower, pain relief, anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, skin issues, urinary tract issues. You can't take too much. It's good for diabetes. And it grows like
You
weed.
see, that's also why I try and push biochar as far as I can, because it turns all toxins and poisons natural.
Right.
So so the biochar is basically putting it into a container, heating it up until it turns into charcoal, right?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, and it's definitely not the same as like my big old massive burn pit that I've just burned.
Why not? No, it can. You see,
Is it still going to be as good or not?
Yes, it will. Let me explain to you. The easiest way so, that I can explain to you. All you need to do is, you know what is decarboxylation? Okay, if you take, example, if you take a cannabis product and you decarboxylate it, so you take it and you heat it at a certain temperature for a long period of time to activate THC, because the THC component in cannabis is not what makes you high. Once THC goes through the decarboxylation process, the heating process, activating process, it becomes THC acid, and that is the psychoactive ingredient in cannabis, not THC. THC can't really make you high unless it's activated. You see, so when you have like your fire pit,
right,
you start with small wood on the bottom and you go thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker on the top. When you reach approximately 3/4 of the way, but you must continue to cook it without the presence of oxygen, because at the end of the day, it's not the wood that burns. Wood doesn't burn at all. It's all the liquids and the chemicals and gases that's in that wood that gets released that burns. So if you eliminate the presence of oxygen, it's like you're cooking it in a pressure cooker. So every time you see the wood that you put on starts to go white and it becomes ash, you add more wood. So it takes away the oxygen at that level and it just cooks it down the bottom. You're going to get pieces of wood where you break off the outside part of the char part of it, and then it crumbles, and then there's still a piece of wood left that is still not charred properly. That you just throw one side and you throw it in the fire again on your next round. So all you got to do is eliminate the presence of oxygen so that it can cook dry and all the gases can escape upwards and burn, and not burn the char into ash. Because even once the char goes into ash, it still is full of phosphorus and potassium. Okay, but always remember, when you make biochar, do not put it in the ground just like that. You have to activate it first because it acts like a sponge. So once you put it in the ground, it accumulates all the nutrients that's around it, that's possible, into the biochar. So it actually drains your soil of the nutrients around it first, so that it can populate itself. And once you've given it enough chance to populate, then only it will be a benefit to your ground. So you got to actually activate it before you put it into the ground. So you have the way you do your aquaponics, or what do you do?
The hydroponics.
Yes, the hydroponics. You take your natural, whatever juices you have, or teas or compost teas you have, and you soak the biochar in that.
Oh, nice. I got you.
With a little bit of presence of oxygen, and you put some molasses in there with Epsom salts, it feeds the beneficial microbial life, and it actually populates it within a week, depending on the big container you have and whatever. So then you don't only have the biochar that you can put into the ground, you have that liquid that you can actually foliar feed your plants with.
And you can digest the biochar. You can take it. It works as a several things.
It's like activated charcoal. Yes, you see the difference between biochar and activated charcoal. Biochar is just burnt like that, you take it out like that. Activated charcoal is biochar that has been steamed so that it can open all the porous holes so it is more absorbent. So when you go and buy activated charcoal, it's burnt wood that has been steamed to clean out the pores properly, so it actually acts like a proper absorbing sponge. That's the difference.
Cool. Very cool. That's good to know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and make some biochar, throw it in with some of the compost or compost tea, and then you got.
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes.
very cool.
And if you go into the bush and you get where there's layers and layers and layers of leaves, and you scratch the top part away just under the leaves so that the leaves just get out of the way, you'll see there's like a fungi that grows.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
All you need is a little pinch of that fungi, and you close it up again. You put that little pinch in a packet, and you go to another section of a forest or a bush, and you get a little bit more of that. That is what's called mycorrhizal fungi. Mycorrhizal fungi, that little bit, 3, 4, 5 pinches that you add into your compost, actually inoculates your compost with mycorrhizal fungi, which in turn that goes so small and so thin that, yeah, we go. You are a fucking champion. There we go. So,
I was just thinking, I'm like, I've got a whole big leaf pile, and
okay, so
I know how to inoculate stuff. I should start growing some of that if it's that good for the garden.
Let me explain to you what mycorrhizal fungi does. It actually connects plant root mass with each other.
Yeah.
And it is so thin that it can move between the sand grains to go and find water. And once your roots become entangled in your garden, it actually transfers, mycorrhizal fungi actually transfers nutrients and minerals between plants.
Yeah, and that's what mushrooms do as well. But I bet because the issue with mushrooms is they're so delicate. I mean, they grow slow. A lot of bacteria and stuff can kill them. But it makes sense to grab, like I said, I've got a massive pile of leaves, and I've seen that mycelium or whatever it is, whatever you're calling it.
Yes, mycorrhizal fungi.
That's already adapted to this weather, this area.
Yes.
And it could probably thrive. That would be. Yeah.
And you see, the thing is why I say you got to go in a couple of different sections of the forest or in the bush is because it's different generations of the same type of thing.
Yeah. Cool. I'm gonna do that.
You must actually do yourself a favor. Go look at Dr. Elaine Ingham. Is where I got all my Elaine Ingham. I'll write it here in the comments.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's awesome. Biofuel too. Bring it.
Yes.
Great biofuel.
Yes. Yes. Especially if you make biochar. You see, if you make biochar and you got the right totes and the right procedures, the gas that comes off the wood actually produces the most expensive liquid fertilizer that you can find. Comes from making biochar. And not only that, that can be used as biofuel, and it burns 0%. It burns clean.
The need to grow.
I've done all the free courses I could do with Elaine Ingham, all the webinars that she has, and all the biochar I could find. I had actually quite about 2 years during the COVID that where they decided we must stay at home, and I decided, okay, now's my time to learn and screw you over when it's my turn and all this cuck has left. So yeah, now it's our turn.
Right. There is. That's see, it's always good. So I actually learned about. I think I met Joe during a live when we were talking about microgreens, and Joe started talking about biochar, and I was like, "What? And that was my first time learning about it. So it was.
Yeah,
It was.
I'm glad he said that you had to. Yeah, because I would have just made it and chopped it up and thrown it in the garden. I would be like, why is this backfiring?
Yeah. You see, that is the thing. When everybody tells you how to make biochar, it's
Right.
easy to make biochar.
They miss
But
an
they
important step.
Exactly, the most important step of how to actually activate before you inoculate.
Right.
No. But yeah, that's how it goes. And that's the whole, that's my whole objective with my book as well. So that I can, from start to finish, from growing the plant, preparing the soil, growing the plant, harvesting the plant, making the tinctures, ailments you can use it for, and how to use it. You see, so volume 1 will be of the Amaranthus, Dandelion, and Cosmos. That will be volume 1. And then I'll go to the next bunch on volume 2. And because God has blessed us with so many different ones, there should be about, if I've worked out correctly, there should be about 10 volumes on the first series. The first series is called Gifts from the Ground. And then on the second series, I'm going to do on the herbs and spices. So I've named the second series Spice Up Your Life.
Nice.
So we'll see how that goes.
I think it'll be great. Can't wait.
Yes.
Can't wait.
Well, I'm going to hit.
So,
I'm going to bed, guys. But it was awesome talking to you guys.
Me too.
Definitely gonna have
Guys,
to.
thank you so very, very much. I appreciate all the info, and we'll definitely do it again. It's like my brain's overloaded at the moment.
100%.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Debbie. Matt, thank you very much, buddy.
Yes. Catch you later.
It is also 5, just before 5 a.m. in the morning here by me.
So you making fun of us?
You actually, you guys are actually 6 hours behind me.
Nice. Yeah. So it's 10:30 here.
You see, that is my bonus because I'm used to this. My brother stays in Canada, in Ottawa, so I'm used to staying up late to speak to him. Otherwise, I don't. I haven't seen him for 18 years. The only way is when I video call him. So,
Nice.
gentlemen,
All right.
thank you very much. EJ, Matt, it was my
Appreciate
pleasure
you all.
meeting you guys.
Yes. See ya.
Debbie, God bless and look after yourself, my dear.
Y'all do the same. Jay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, everybody. I just want to say thanks, Joe. Thanks to Matt. Time to Hill, Debbie. Love you all for being here, and thank you for coming. Thank you for hanging out. And thank you for joining my live and making this possible. Let me know in one of my videos or DM me if you guys like this Tuesday night thing. I think because of my schedule and this will work great for me. If it works great for you, let me know. If you still want to see stuff on the Wednesday, let me know as well. We had a great guest panel and people come in and some new people come in, and that's what we're about. So hopefully you guys are getting some great information. You guys can see all this on my YouTube channel, From Them Farms. So if you missed any of it or you want to rehash or maybe something you didn't get, see it on my YouTube channel, From Them Farms. And if you guys haven't yet, join me over there on Bump Social. Bump Social. It's an app. If all these get taken down, Bump Socials actually we're getting ready to do a launch here. It's a new social media app, but it does everything TikTok and all these other platforms do, but better. And there's no restriction on anything. So it's going to be fun. It's great. They have a lot of stuff going on. If you're a new creator like myself over there, they're going to push our algorithm. They're going to push our things like 40 times. So you're going to see me on every platform just promoting this. And I think it's me and a couple other creators. I got actually Luma over there, Luma T, Mary, and we need to do a thing. Actually, you would like this, Debbie, of getting Mary. I want to get Mary, Angie, and probably you in there. This would be great. Mary, actually, we talked. I like to know all my people that I do business with and stuff like that. And man, she has a story to tell. And I didn't know. I have really some great content creators or some great herbalists or great people, very knowledgeable, more than you know, on this that I'm connected with. And I'm glad to do business with her and do stuff. She has Luma Tea. If you guys aren't following Luma Tea and you haven't tried any of their products, great products. Oh, man, I can't wait to get her stuff on my store. But, man, we had a conference call and we talked. It was great. She went through a battle of doing what she does, and like I'm doing, she's been through it all. So she knows the legal aspects and all the other stuff. But we're doing it because it's for you guys, and we need to get this stuff out. So that's what I'm doing over at Bump Social. It's very new. We're doing a pre-launch pretty soon, but we're really advertising and really hitting the stuff now because this is going to be great for us. But I love you all. Freebird, if you haven't got I don't know if you got your bracelet. I hope you like it. I hope it's everything you wanted. It's really great. We did send it out, and my wife, she really loves what she's doing when she makes those. Just so you know, people that she's made them for, she puts her time and energy, and it's not just something that she just throws together. It's a skill set, and it's a lot of positive energy going into your bracelet, which all that energy and stuff like that is yours now. There's nothing negative or anything transferred over, just so you know. And it's made by native hands. So it's all great. I love you guys. I appreciate everything. Thanks for all the shares and comments and hearts and gifts. It's very appreciated. You guys are making this happen, and it's touching lives and it's helping people here on this platform. Like I said, you can catch me over on YouTube if you missed any of this. From them farms to your home. Your man works night shift. That's funny, Freebird. Did I miss anything? Uncle Joe, appreciate you. I seen Ashley in here. Ashley, sorry I didn't acknowledge you. I seen you. I appreciate you. Thanks because I did send her an invite. Every time I have my logo up here, that's advertising for Ashley. She does some great stuff. She actually redid my logo for me, and I'm very, very happy for it. I know the whole purpose was to put this on a pill, like hats and shirts and stuff, which I still haven't got together. I haven't finished it. I'm trying to put all this other stuff together, but that's something I need to address and make here soon. Thank you. And thank you all for supporting me and supporting, if you guys checked out my website and bought stuff on the website and through us, it means a lot. And it's all about you guys. So guys have a good one and get some rest. And till next time.